has cut his walks down, and that has made him a much more effective pitcher. Let's check out the defense behind David Cone. As you can see, the rain kind of misting down. I wouldn't really call it a downpour. Brocious, Jeter, Knobloch, Martinez in the infield. In the outfield, Leday, Williams, and O'Neill. Joe Girardi behind home plate, as he usually is with David Cone on the mound. Going to look at Ricky Leday out in left field. And Leday, well, he knows these Cleveland Indians well because he was originally called up. His first hit in the major leagues came against the Cleveland Indians and Jared Wright. So Ricky Leday, who went up and down a couple of times when Bernie Williams was injured and Joe Torre was looking for another outfielder. And Ricky Leday is a fine defensive outfielder. That's one reason why Joe Torre has him out there. And another reason he has him out there because all the other left fielders only have one hit in this series.
Kenny, we were talking about that today. In this ball game with David Cone pitching, a key element in setting that lineup is defense.
It certainly is, and particularly on a night where it might be a little wet out there. You need somebody with sure hands and some quickness. We saw Shane Spencer. He is not the outfielder that Ricky Leday is. Certainly might have a little more power, but Ricky Leday is out there for a reason, and I think Joe Torre hopes he's able to make a couple of big plays tonight. You look at the rain misting down. I wouldn't call it a downpour. As Gary mentioned, originally they said it wouldn't rain until midnight, and I wonder what's going to happen in tomorrow's game, if there is a tomorrow.
One of the things we share in common in this world, weathermen who can't predict the weather. There is David Justice back in the lineup. He had some things to say about Yankee fans after the last game. David Wells was very upset that the fans taunted him, referring to his deceased mother. He said, Justice said, "You got to be kidding me. There's no worse taunts than come out of New York." So you can bet the welcome he gets when he finally gets to the plate. Well, we're going to listen to it because he'll be due up third this inning.
I think the good thing for Justice is he's not playing the outfield tonight. He's the designated hitter.
If he was in the outfield, we'd have a lot of delays. All right, Kenny Lofton, there are the postseason numbers for Lofton. Lofton's had only 3 hits in this series, though. 3 for 23. We'll see how this rain affects the game. The bunt is a beauty. It's a fair ball, and it's overthrown. It'll be backed up by Knobloch, but gets away from him. The rain has already affected this game on the very first pitch. Brocious coming in from third base. I think 1, made a mistake throwing the ball. 2, the ball was wet when he picked it up because it was rolling on the grass. And 3, Knobloch couldn't get there to back it up in time.
Yeah, one thing about Kenny Lofton in this series, he's only scored 1 run. Here's a guy who scored over 100 runs during the course of the season and really makes the Indians go. So he comes out, lays down a bunt, and Gary, I think you're right on the money here. If this ball continues to roll, I think it goes foul. So Brocious picks it up, overthrows Tito Martinez. The ball will skip by Chuck Knobloch, and Kenny Lofton's on his way to second base. I believe that ball had enough speed on it to roll foul. It would have rolled foul, and Kenny Lofton would have been up there at the plate again. So Brocious with kind of a mistake right at the top of the game.
Can't believe he played that. And this one bunted foul by Omar Vizquel. So Vizquel, the hottest hitter for the Indians by far, with a .314 average in the postseason and 10 for 20. A .500 batting average in this series, and Mike Hargrove pacing already. What he wants right now is that run. Talking to Jeff Newman, I think his third base coach.
Jeff Newman, and trying to relay a message out to Kenny Lofton at second base.
Again, foul back, strike 2 on Vizquel.
You mentioned Vizquel's .500 batting average in this series, but like Kenny Lofton, he's only scored 1 time. That means the guys hitting behind him in the order are not driving him around.
That was on a home run, Kenny.
That's true. On a home run, he rolled around. There's Jeff Newman, the third base coach, and Kenny Lofton is the runner at second base. Now, the third base coach is in charge of letting the runner at second know if anybody's sneaking in behind him for a pickoff play.
Omar Vizquel, Jeter holding the runner close at second. Shows bunt again with 2 strikes. Well, we're getting this game off to a lickety-split start. Here's a decision you will rarely see. You got your hottest hitter at the plate in the postseason, and they're trying to bunt the runner over.
With 2 strikes, the reason being if he fouls it off, it goes as a strikeout and he's out. But that shows you the confidence they have in Omar Vizquel to get a bunt down.
1-2 the count on him. He squares again, takes it inside. Ball gets away, but found by Girardi to hold Lofton. I cannot believe Omar Vizquel is being asked to bunt in this situation. Number one, because he's a hard hitter, Kenny, but number two, he's a left-hander. If he pulls the ball, will move the runner up anyway.
Yeah, but he's kind of a slap hitter. Hits the ball the other way quite often. And I do believe he's one of the better bunters in the league, so they're asking him to do something he does very well. If this was another player, you wouldn't see this. They're
in at first and third with a 2-2 count, and he does square, and it's 3-2. So David Cone, who got ahead on Vizquel, who fouled off 2 bunt attempts, now has 3 out of the zone, a 3-2. Do you bunt him again?
I don't think he's going to bunt on this particular one. He's gotten to 3-2, might get something right down the middle he could swing at.
Omar Vizquel with a runner at second. He does square, and he bunts it foul, struck out. Mercy.
Well, that might show you how important they feel the first run in a game is when the rain is coming down. Not that they like to shorten postseason ball games at all, but the fact is you get that lead run, and where it's raining, it's very, very important. And Omar Vizquel on a 3-2 pitch, as I mentioned, one of the best bunters, but he can't bunt that particular pitch, and it will go as a strikeout for David Cone.
You hear the crowd booing Justice. One down, runner at second base. Breaking ball for a strike.
In game 2, when David Justice hit the home run in the 4th inning, David Cone threw 2 breaking balls like that in succession. David Justice hit the second one into the bleachers for a home run. Let's see if David Cone remembers.
Justice 3 for 18 against Cone, career-wise, regular season. Breaking ball, a called strike on the inside corner by Jim McKean, the home plate umpire.
That was more of a slider. Now, he doubled up on the curveball on the outside the first time. Not this time. A slider in. Catches Justice looking. It looked like that pitch had the inside corner while it was breaking. And here at Yankee Stadium, the fans are on their feet.
2-strike count. Justice. Strike 3 called. Left-handed batters not hitting Cone.
And the reason being he has many, many weapons, including a backdoor slider that catches the outside corner. At least good enough for Jim McKean. Now that is close, but it's borderline. And when you have 2 strikes, borderline pitches, you have to at least try and foul them off.
Left-handed batters are 3 for 30 in this postseason against David Cone. There are now 2 down. Now, I'll tell you something. Cleveland does not get this run in, and if they were to go on and lose this game, that man is going to be under enormous questioning with what he did with Omar Vizquel.
Either he
will be second guessed.
Either he put the sign on, or Omar did it on his own, thinking that I can bunt anybody.
See the left-handed hitters off Cone. He has really knocked them for a loop here in the postseason.
David Cone has a variety of breaking balls. He has a good curveball, an excellent slider, and his split finger is one of the best in the league. And all that spells trouble not only for left-handed hitters, but for right-handers as well.
And this rain, if it stays like this, is going to be a problem. The field is going to be very wet, and that infield is going to get muddy in a hurry. 2-0 count, 2 down. There goes Lofton to third. Swung on and missed. No throw. It'll be a stolen base, although uncontested, as Lofton goes down. So the Cleveland Indians steal their 6th base in this series. They are 6 for 7. Ramirez has a 2-1 count.
Now, one reason there was no throw, Scott Brocious is playing back at third base. And the fact is they don't want to risk a throw going into the outfield, and then a run would score.
Especially with that wet ball. 2-1 count. Ramirez trying to get that run home. Breaking ball inside corner, 2-2. Nasty pitch.
Well, we mentioned the slider will go away. The split finger will run in on the hands. You see that ball movement, and the movement started in the middle of the plate and then ended up on the inside corner for a called strike.
Ramirez went 0 for 3 against David Cone in the start Cone had against the Indians in this series. Cone's got a chance to strike the side out after the leadoff man got on. 2-2, and he does. A huge inning for David Cone and a big lost chance for the Cleveland Indians. Football International's presentation of the 1998 American League Championship Series is brought to you by MasterCard. And all is forgiven for the moment. Chuck Knobloch receives a great hand. Yankee fans, of course, seeing him for the first time since that disputed play in Cleveland when the ball hit the back of Travis Fryman, the base runner. Knobloch stood on the bag, thought there was going to be interference, and Cleveland took advantage of it to score a run and set up another one. But the fans applauded. But Kenny, we got weather problems.
Yeah, it is raining harder now, Gary. You're right. Coming down and streaming down, and it won't take much longer before they get this field covered, because you can't play unless the field is in condition to do so.
And it doesn't take long for this infield ground to get soaked, and if you don't have that covered, you're in trouble.
One thing for the fans to watch for: when the pitcher starts to have trouble gripping the ball and throwing it in with his footing, that's when games usually are stopped.
Inside to Knobloch, ball one. Knobloch 3 for 20. There you see how the fielders will try and keep their hands dry. Travis Fryman at third, unbuttoning one button there so he can get his hand in. Or B, trying to recreate Napoleon. That one's in there. 1-1.
Will this be his Waterloo?
Could be. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And Knobloch's having trouble now with the batting helmet too wet, water dripping off the visor. Watching all of this.
The umpires do know what the weather report is and what the forecast might be for the near future. This might be a passing shower.
Breaking ball, good one. The other problem, Kenny, is the weather forecast is bad for tonight and tomorrow. So Knobloch trying to stay dry. 1 ball, 2 strike count. They just never work when you need them. You know what I mean? You buy those $2 umbrellas. That one foul back. Count remains a ball and 2 strike. Knobloch now saying I can't hold the bat, and Jim McKeon's upset about it. He wants to get this at bat going. The home plate umpire.
You know, Knobloch having problems with the helmet. You got to keep your helmet dry so the water doesn't drip in your face as you're hitting. As Jim Evans is at first base tonight. He is closest to the ground crew. And he is the crew chief of tonight's umpires with the most experience. 28 years calling balls and strikes and calling plays on the bases in the American League.
So if there's going to be a delay of game, he's the one who will make the move. Jim McKeon, the crew chief, would make a decision if he thinks the game needs to be stopped. Knobloch with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Water still coming down. He backs out again.
Pop-ups and fly balls are difficult to judge with raindrops falling as you look up in the lights and try and find a baseball. The rain is coming down at a different rate of speed than the baseball.
No play on this one. Back into the seats.
You will see fielders being very tentative on pop-ups and fly balls. The wind is somewhat of a problem. It's not really gusting here, but you put that combination together, the rain coming down and a slight bit of wind here at Yankee Stadium tonight. Any pop-up, you'll see the fielders trying to get underneath and become very, very steady before they make the play.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Knobloch. He may be trying to delay this as much as he can as far as Nagy's concerned too, giving Nagy no chance to get settled in here against the first hitter. Charles Nagy, the 1-2 delivered to Knobloch, and down low, boxed there by Sandy Alomar.
The rain not only illuminates the baseball in the air, but it also illuminates the raindrops. So there's a lot of things moving up there.
Nagy trying to be the one to keep it alive. He is 2-3 in his career in postseason against the Yankees. 0-1, and hoping for some help defensively with dry-handed fielders. 2-2 down to third, but a foul ball, and it remains a 2-2 count on Knobloch.
You notice Travis Fryman with that move. Now Detroit, one of the northern cities in the American League, and you get a lot of bad weather in Detroit, so that's a bad weather move that's been rehearsed many times by Travis Fryman while playing for the Tigers.
Be a lot of change to jerseys in this game. You see the mud building up. 2-2 delivered to Knobloch. He fights another one off, and see him look at his hands. Knobloch saying, I can't hold this bat. He looked down after he fouled that off because his hand slipped on the bat.
Even with all the pine tar and the stickiness on that bat, it gets slick. Yeah, there's a look at the pine tar, the rosin, the weighted bat, the donut that you put around your own bat. It's a lead weight that you swing around and try and loosen up in the on-deck circle.
2-2 delivery again. Line to short. Omar Vizquel continues errorless. And the game's best percentage fielding shortstop handles another one. Knobloch out of there, but a 9-pitch at bat. Following him in the Yankee lineup, it'll be Derek Jeter, Paul O'Neill, Bernie Williams out of Puerto Rico, Chili Davis, the designated hitter, again from Jamaica, Tito Martinez, Ricky Leday out of Puerto Rico, Scott Brocious, and Joe Girardi for the Yankees.
And you're looking at Charles Nagy, who, along with Dave Berman, was the top winner for the Cleveland Indians, 15-10, and no decision in game 2, and he worked very well, allowed just 1 run, struck out 5, only 1 walk. And I mentioned he has been the best postseason pitcher for the Cleveland Indians. There is Knobloch, happy to be back in the dugout and drying off.
And that breaking ball misses inside to Derek Jeter. He, like Knobloch in this series, those are the overall numbers, is 3 for 20 in the series. So the 2 leadoff hitters have not been on base very much.
Yeah, look at that 1 run scored by Derek Jeter. Led the American League in run scoring this year with 127, and that 1 run came in the first inning of the first game in this series when the Yankees scored 5 times.
These 2 teams offensively to continue to put up negative offensive numbers historically for an American League Championship Series, as they are right now. This is the lowest combined batting average ever, 208. This is going to be tough for Fryman. Is his hand dry? The throw didn't get him. Infield single, Jeter.
As we mentioned time and time again in this series, if you've been watching all the previous ball games, that Derek Jeter is one of the fastest runners down the line for a right-handed hitter in the American League. Tough play, ball stays down. If it comes up, it's easier to make the play for Travis Fryman at third. The ball stayed down somewhat, and Derek Jeter hustles it out for a base hit. Throwing on the run for a third baseman is the toughest play he can make, and he can't make this one. Watch the hustling Jeter.
5th leading hitter in the American League this year, and one of the reasons why he gets those legged out hits. They can really add to your total. Fryman will try and stay dry again. I don't think anything would have mattered on that one. Jeter was going to beat it out. Now O'Neill up. Paul O'Neill outside, ball 1 as the rain lets up a bit. Now, will they run in this game on Sandy Alomar, who has had trouble throwing in this series? The Yankees have 9 stolen bases. Only 1's been caught. Alomar's got the bad knees and the bad back. 1-0 delivery to O'Neill is down low, 2-0.
The only Yankee that was caught stealing was Jorge Posada. That was a missed hit and run in Cleveland. It was a pitch that Scott Brocious couldn't make contact on, and Posada was hung out to dry. So 9 out of 10 for the Yankees in stolen base attempts.
O'Neill, a big hitter against Nagy, 306 in his career, a couple of home runs, went 1 for 3 in his appearance against Nagy in this series, and fouls that one back 2-1. New York Yankees have gone big time in first innings. They have scored 10 of 18 runs in this series in the first inning, jumping out on top of their opposition, and that makes a huge difference. You got to play catch up.
Yeah, well, it will here at Yankee Stadium. They can score early in this ball game. It'll get the crowd all pumped up, thinking that they might have a chance to eliminate the Cleveland Indians.
2 ball, 1 strike count. There goes Jeter. O'Neill will foul it off. Jeter will come back.
Jeter might feel kind of bad. He got a pretty good jump, but O'Neill actually got a pitch that was pretty good to hit, and he fouled it off. You know, if you have your runner going and a hitter makes solid contact, drives the ball to the outfield, you could see somebody with Jeter's speed scoring from first base. Now, Willie Randolph is the third base coach giving the signs, but players like Knobloch and Jeter are more or less on their own. When they pick a pitch they feel they can make it on, they're going.
There's Jeter at first, being held by Jim Thome. Nagy with a 2-2 count. Jeter again. Swung on and base hit into right field. Ramirez up. Jeter over to third, and the Yankees threatening again in the first inning.
Now the thing about Paul O'Neill in the third spot, hits the ball to all field, so defensively he's very tough to play against. Also, he'll pull the breaking ball, and there it is right there for him to drive right through that hole. And Jeter is on the way to third base as he looks back. Now another thing, on base hits to the outfield with all this water falling, they'll all be slowed up on the wet grass, and you'll see a lot of base runners taking 2 bases.
Yankees with a chance to go ahead of Hargrove's Indians again in the first. Bernie Williams, the switch hitter, 5 for 17 in this series. You see the 7 walks he has picked up in this postseason. 1 down. Big off-speed breaking ball, strike 1. Bernie Williams has 3 RBIs in this series. And a chance to add to it here. Not on that one. Nagy fooled him. The Yankees, who hit .299 with runners in scoring position during the regular season, are hitting .200 in those situations in this postseason. Just 10 for 50. And the breaking ball up the middle gets by Nagy. Jeter scores. O'Neill on his way to third. 1-0 New York.
Well, with that base hit by Bernie Williams, he ties Chili Davis for the top man as far as RBIs are concerned for the Yankees in this series. One thing about Bernie Williams, pitch out over the plate, you don't see him try and pull that. He goes right back through the middle with it. Infield is wide open through the middle, picks up an RBI, and with the wet grass, Paul O'Neill doesn't hesitate. He goes all the way to third base. And Charles Nagy of nearby Fairfield, Connecticut, is behind by a score of 1-0.
Cleveland Indians in this postseason, this is the 10th game. Their opponents have scored first in 9 of the 10 games against them this postseason. Davis has taken over that designated hitter role, producing, as Kenny said, the 4 RBIs. Williams tied with him in this series for that lead. Fastball outside, ball 1, and it appears as though the rain is all but stopped here in New York.
Well, they do have a weather radar center down near the ground crew room, and they'll check that from time to time when there are rain delays expected.
1-0 count. Nagy fakes to third, looks to first.
And it tells me that they knew this would be a brief shower, and that's why they continued to play. You might see them spread some diamond dust on the field. What that does, it dries the areas around the mound and home plate in between innings.
1 down, runners at first and third. Yankees up 1-0 on 3 hits here in the first inning. And Nagy will step off. Davis has big numbers against Charles Nagy. 10 for 37 with 2 home runs in his career. These two have faced each other a lot. Mark Wiley, the pitching coach, they'll keep a close eye in this game because they got to win. A must win for Cleveland. Williams back.
The reason why they're watching Bernie Williams so closely now, with Chili Davis at the plate, now one of the drawbacks with Chili in the lineup, he does not run very well. So anytime he hits the ball on the ground with a man on first, you can expect it to be a double play. So if Bernie Williams takes off and goes to second and steals second, that would negate the double play ball with Chili Davis at the plate.
1-0 delivery. That one hit deep to right field. It is way back at the wall. It'll stay in. just shy. Tagging up, scoring O'Neill. Sacrifice fly, 2-0 Yankees.
Well, somewhat of a sigh of relief from Mike Hargrove on the Cleveland Indian bench, because Chili Davis did not miss that by much. I believe it just got in on his hands just enough to keep the ball in the ballpark and to the warning track, but certainly deep enough for Paul O'Neill to tag up and score from third base. Manny Ramirez, about the middle of the warning track, makes the catch, and Chili Davis just misses the 3-run home run.
Still has five RBIs over the last 3 games for Davis. And the Yankees have a 2-0 lead. Though he produces again in the DH role.
He's smiling because he missed by that much.
Charles Nagy had a ton of runs scored against him this year, the most runs of any pitcher in the American League. He was 3rd high in hits and 3rd high in home runs given up. So he gives up a ton. Nevertheless, had a 15-10 record. Tino Martinez takes a strike. Now Martinez continuing to try and find a way. He can smile through it all, though. He had a comment. He brought his son out to Yankee Stadium yesterday to work out. It was an optional day. And he said, my son knows I'm playing for the Yankees. He says, Daddy, I saw you strike out. 0-1 pitch is high and away, and he had a smile when he said it. 1-1.
Well, the Yankees would like to see Tino Martinez get going. And here's a guy who's led the team in runs batted in this year and home runs. But certain guys have a tendency to put too much pressure on themselves, feeling that they have to do the very same thing. One of the strengths of the Yankee ball club was the fact that everybody kind of picked everybody up. David Cone got a lot of run support, 3rd highest in the league this year. The highest going to El Duque, almost 7 runs per game when he pitched in support.
It's a big Yankee offense, grounded up the middle. Well, little Martinez, your daddy's got a hit. That's his 2nd of this series, now 2 for 17 against the Indians, and the Yankees have their 4th hit off Nagy. Four singles in this inning.
Now here's the pitch again, out over the plate, and once again a Yankee hitter, just as Bernie Williams did, goes right back through the middle with the base hit. Good hitting by the Yankee left-handed hitters against Charles Nagy.
So Nagy down 2-0 here in the 1st inning. 2 down, runners at 1st and 2nd. 24 pitches thrown so far in this 1st inning by Charles Nagy. Ricky Leday is getting the start in left field, as Julie Croteau said when we were in talking with the manager, Joe Torre, and said, why Ricky Leday? He said, why not?
Originally, Ricky Leday was called up on June 11th when Bernie Williams went on the disabled list. And his first major league at bat came on June the 14th, and he got a base hit off of Jarrett Ray. He also made a great play in that game. First ball hit to him in the outfield was a tough play, and he made it look easy.
2 on here, 1-1 delivery, a chopper towards second base. Wilson makes the play, and the Yankees are retired. But for the 4th time in this series, New York has taken a 1st inning lead. Tonight, it's 2-0. Well, Cleveland had a chance in the 1st inning, didn't get it. The Yankees had a chance, and they did. David Cone, the reason Cleveland didn't.
Well, David Cone was very tough. First of all, he got a little help maybe. Omar Vizquel tried to bunt with 2 strikes, tried to bunt a splitter, and is out of there. Well, the crowd enjoyed this one. David Justice called out on a nice backdoor breaking ball. Then a tribute to Luis Tiant, that little El Tiante move. And he strikes out Manny Ramirez.
There are the Cone heads, which is David Cone's nickname, of course, only they put the K's up there on him, which is for strikeouts, which reminds us that we had an email directed to us that was all about that. In fact, And those are the real live cone heads you're taking a look at there. Why is a K used to designate a strikeout?
Well, I always thought it was because there's 3 letters, 3 motions in making a K. You know, you got the 1 down, 1 up, and 1 to the side, and you got a K. That's what and 3 strikes is a strikeout. But I know originally when they were figuring out a way how to score baseball, the gentleman who thought of it, a writer in Pittsburgh, decided that K was the second letter, third letter strikeout, whatever, third letter strikeout, fourth letter.
I think boxing has something to do with it too.
Oh, okay.
When you knock somebody out, it's a KO. Jim told me up. When you're struck out in baseball, I've read that the K was used from the KO in boxing for a knockout.
All kinds of theories about it.
I'm not sure what the true answer is to that. Tomey takes a strike, 1-1.
I think my dad told me years ago when I was learning how to score a game, welcome to Coney Island right here.
Yeah.
Was the K.
The K. So I'd take your pick on that one. And Tomey takes the pitch inside. Also, this was from Singapore. Mr. Singh also wanted to know, why is a ball, base on balls, a BB in the scoring book?
Well, you can use various ways of doing that too. I don't use BB. I use W for walk. It's a little bit easier to fit in there.
So Prithipal Singh from Singapore. Thanks for the email on why those letters are used in scoring. Base on balls, obviously, is just the BB comes from that, but you don't have to use it.
You can use W for walk if you want.
When you're doing the scoring, so long as you can read it, you can use anything you want. 3-2 delivery. Tomey drills that one, a base hit into right center field. Wet grass will slow it down to a stop. Look at that. Balls are not going to roll in the outfield. That ball came to a complete stop by the time Bernie Williams got there, and Tomey's on with a single.
And you notice Ted Hendry flipped another ball to Derek Jeter. Jim Tomey struck out 3 times against David Cohn in game 2. This time he gets a nice little breaking ball sort of centered in the middle of the plate. There's a solid line drive. Watch this thing slow down, have a water trail after it and all. Bernie Williams picks it up barehanded and gets it back in. It's not raining quite as hard, but it's still misting here at the stadium.
It's going to be a wet night. Already is. And the pitch is taken up high. Travis Fryman. So Tomey on with a leadoff single here in the first. Fryman, the third baseman. Postseason numbers, just a 188 batting average. 2 hits now for the Indians off David Cohn.
Fryman had a good year and usually does with the bat, but in the postseason, well, this is his first time in postseason. Maybe he has the jitters a bit.
Swings through the fastball by David Cohn. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fryman has seen David Cohn a lot. 10 for 43 in his career against him. This is his first at bat here at Yankee Stadium since the infamous play when he laid down the bunt. The throw hit him in the back in Cleveland, of course. Foul back. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Fryman. So much happens though in every game that by the time you get to a game like this, game 6, it's almost like the other 5 games were like 5 years ago. All you know is what the series number is, and let's do it again. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Tomey, not a speedy runner at first base. Swung on and missed, pulled the string on him. 4 strikeouts already for Cohn.
Now David Cohn takes a little something off of this, and it might have been a breaking ball as well. He kind of drops down a bit. Yep, looked like he took something off the curve or a slider. David Cohn's creativity is as good as anybody in this league. He will make up a pitch to get it out, and it looked like he, you know, went deep to the well to get something there and struck out Travis Fryman.
Fryman going, what was that?
Yeah, he'll get back to the bench and say, what was it? He'll say, I have no clue.
1 down. Tomey still at first and fouled off by Brian Giles. Giles getting the start in left field, has not had a hit in this series. Fryman the first out, back on the bench. 4th strikeout for Cohn. David Cohn was 5th in strikeouts in the league during the regular season with 209. 0-1 delivery off the fist to right field. O'Neill was deep, won't get to it. Thome got a great jump and is on his way to third. Real good base running by Jim Thome. He knew where O'Neill was playing, knew he couldn't get to it, and never hesitated in taking off.
Number 50,
Brian Giles, the Yankees have tried to keep the ball in on his hands most of this series, and they do it once again here. Even though David Cone makes a pretty good pitch on Giles, strong enough to get it to the outfield and drop it in front of Paul O'Neill and right and down the line. So the Indians will have runners at first and third with one out. There's Thome right away. As Gary mentioned, he knew where the ball was going to land. He knew where Paul O'Neill was, and he knew he couldn't catch it on the fly. So he's on his way to third base.
Kenny, so much of good base running comes from everything that happens before the pitch is ever thrown.
Well, you got to look around and see where the fielders are.
RBI chance for Sandy Alomar.
And the best base runners are not necessarily the fastest guys. Jim Thome knows his limitations on the bases. That's why, he was able to get the third there. When the ball's hit hard, he's going to stop because he knows that he can't make it a third, while a speedier guy might take off and try it.
Alomar did not play Sunday. Back spasms. Back in the lineup after a day off yesterday. Bunting, and it's a safety squeeze, foul back. Thome was not coming in from third on the pitch, and was that a call for? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Alomar hitting 0-77, just trying to make something happen. Number one, he knows if he hits the ball on the ground to Jeter or Knobloch, it's going to be a double play, especially the way he's been running with that bad knee. So here he's trying to push the ball past David Cone and pick up one run for the Indians on a bunt.
Wow. Hargrove was not happy about that move. You saw him turn and look like, what was that? Now the 0-2 delivery by Cone outside for a ball.
It's obvious that with the year that Alomar had this year offensively and the injuries, last year he would not have done that. Last year he won the All-Star game with a home run. He had a very good year, probably his best year offensively. He wouldn't have been thinking about bunting last year.
1 ball, 2 strike count. First and third, one away. Foul back. Well, the Indians have already done some strange things in this game. With Omar Vizquel trying to bunt a man over, their hottest hitter, with 1 on, nobody out first inning, and Vizquel ended up fouling off a 2-strike pitch for a strikeout trying to bunt. Now here's Alomar, who's supposed to be one of their RBI people, but since coming back late in the season has hit less than 200. Trying to bunt a run in. Tells you how this ball club doesn't have a lot of faith in itself offensively.
Yeah, it might look as though they're playing not to lose rather than to go out and win the game. A little more tentative at the plate.
1-2 delivery. Alomar throws his bat at it and misses. Struck him out. 5 strikeouts for Cone.
Well, David Cone has come out with an excellent breaking ball tonight. You can see this one started outside and went further away from Sandy Alomar. The only chance he had was to throw the bat and hopefully make contact. No chance, and he's out of there.
Cone has already equaled the strikeouts that he had in his other appearance in this series against the Indians. He went 8 innings in that game, giving up only a run on 5 hits, walked 3 and struck out 5. He has struck out 5, and we're only in the 2nd inning. Season high was 14. Fouled off by Enrique Wilson with 2 down and 2 on. Joey Cora has lost his job at second base in this series, with Wilson now the regular starter and Cora finding a place on the bench. Kenny said to me, it's time for Joey Cora to say to his agent, where am I playing next year?
Exactly. When they go with a raw rookie instead of a veteran, that kind of tells you that the door is open and you're the first one out of it.
Enrique Wilson with a 1 ball 1 strike count, 2 for 10 in the series. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 1 and 2.
Well, David Cone did have a game on Sunday, June 14th, right here at Yankee Stadium, where he struck out 12 Cleveland Indians. And on that day, his breaking ball was outstanding, and it has been tonight.
1-2 count. Wilson protecting the plate, fouls it off. Manny Ramirez on the left. Omar Vizquel on the right. Hoping for a big hit right here. And asking a rookie to do it. Remember, left-handers 3 for 30 against Cone in this postseason. That one to right field. Paul O'Neill shy of the warning track, just on it. And Wilson is retired. No runs, a couple of hits, 2 are left on. Cone with 5 Ks. The Yankees trying to win their 35th American League pennant. They can do it with a victory here tonight.
Ricky Leday, who is in the outfield tonight and getting the start, talking to Jose Cardinal, who is one of the better defensive outfielders during his time and is in charge of positioning the outfielders, and they're probably talking about the positioning of the Cleveland Indian hitters during that past inning.
Scott Brocious against Charles Nagy, bottom of the 2nd inning. Yankees on top 2-0. Brocious has had a very fine series and a very fine postseason, as he has had 5 hits and 17 at-bats in this series. And he lashes that one to left field. Hit is deep, way back in the wall, and an outstanding catch made by Brian Giles. Robs Brocious of an extra base hit.
Well, this is the defensive play by an outfielder in this series. It looked as though Giles had turned the wrong way. Now, he is an excellent outfielder, also has an outstanding arm, but it looked like this was going to be a 2-base hit. A pitch that was up, that's where Brocious likes it. The turn at the wall and the catch by Brian Giles. It holds on after crashing into the wall. Another look at it. Ball almost came out of the glove, but he squeezed it just tightly enough to hold on. Then the recoil after the collision with the left center field wall here at Yankee Stadium.
That's why the walls are padded. That one lined to right field by Girardi for a base hit. Joe Girardi 2 for 6 now, the starting catcher for the Yankees. A 1-out single here in the 2nd inning.
Well, when you're about 205 pounds and used to be a running back in high school, this is what it sounds like when you run into a wall. Yeah, ran over a defensive end on the way to the touchdown.
Boom.
He and Shane Spencer played on the same Little League football team, and both of them were running backs.
It was a football play right there. There he is, Shane Spencer.
And on the same high school baseball team. So Granite High School near San Diego. Yeah.
Knobloch with a runner at first base and 1 away. Knobloch grounded out his first time up, 3 for 21 in this series. Against Nagy, a 300 hitter, 300 plus in fact in his career.
Now Brian Giles and Shane Spencer both from El Cajon, California, which is south of San Diego, I believe. You can't get much more south than San Diego and be in the United States.
Go to the Baja, yeah. Go any further south. They know each other real well.
Since they're about 8 years old.
Share some stories after this series. Throw over to first base. And Girardi back in the bag. Yankees leading at 2-0, have 5 hits off Charles Nagy. As we told you, Nagy, with so many runners on base during the regular season, is used to pitching out of the stretch. I mean, he's always pitching out of the stretch. And he's got to be good at it to have come away with 15 wins.
I think he just made a cardinal mistake to Joe Girardi. Threw him a first pitch fastball. Joe swinging at the first fastball he sees every time up.
2 ball, no strike count on Knobloch. 31-year-old right-hander looking over to first. Thome is holding. Girardi not a speedy base runner, but he goes. Hit and run. Gonna let it go. Foul. Alomar would not have had a play on that one once he initially decided to watch it roll, and it rolled foul.
When you don't have a speedy base runner on and you want to try and advance him by starting the runner, you put the hit and run on. And the hitter is in charge of protecting him. So Knobloch tops the ball. Good judgment by Sandy Alomar Jr. He's going to let this one roll foul. just had enough speed to make that left turn and head into foul territory.
Now, all we needed on that play was to have Knobloch running to first out of the baseline. Fryman come in and field it and throw it and hit him in the back of the head. Because Travis Fryman, of course, was on the other end of that in that play we talked about earlier, where the play was made and he got hit in the back.
And then have Enrique Wilson just look at the ball,
let it roll around. Yeah. 2 ball, 1 strike count, 1 away. Knobloch drills that one. That's going to be in the corner. Fair ball, takes the hop. Giles up with it, making the turn, coming on Girardi, dropped the ball. No play. 3-0 Yankees. RBI double for Knobloch.
Well, third base coach in charge of scoring the runners if he can. And Brian Giles, well, he's a good defensive outfielder, but we talked about the wetness and the slippery conditions in the outfield. And watch what happens to Brian Giles out in left field. He gets over to the ball cleanly. Drops it, goes after it, slips, falls. Meantime, Joe Girardi scoring all the way from first base. Treacherous conditions out there in the outfield.
So Knobloch comes through. Picks up the RBI for the Yankees, who now have 6 hits off Charles Nagy. And for Knobloch, that's going to be his first RBI in this series, and a ball 1 on Jeter.
Here's a look. Now, first of all, he has already dropped the ball. Now slips again and loses all chance of holding Girardi at third base. Now just gets the ball back in.
Strike on the outside corner. Jeter had a single and scored in the first inning. The Yankees coming into this game had 2 multi-run innings in the last 46. Verb is up in the bullpen for Cleveland. 2 multi-run innings in the last 46. They got another one in the first. Threatening here. Pickoff move with Vizquel at second base.
Vizquel with the quickness, Nagy with a good throw, but Knobloch got back. One thing about the Cleveland bullpen tonight, you will see everybody if necessary, with the exception of Bartolo Colon, because he is scheduled, if there's a game 7, to start for the Indians.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Still only 1 away. They have taken the RBI away from Knobloch and have charged an error on Giles, allowing Girardi to score. So an error goes up on the board. Knobloch will not get the RBI.
R's for the runs, H for the hits, and E's for the errors.
You read that email?
Yes, I did.
1 ball, 2 strike count, 1 away.
Fans out there want to know what those symbols mean.
And that one misses outside. Now you're going to make me go back and find out where is it so I can recognize the person who sent us that email. I'll find it here in a minute. We thank all of you who have been so kind in emails. We'll get to as many of them. We have no chance in getting all of them, but we'll get to as many of them as we can. Here's the 2-2 delivery and a chopper out in front again. And again, it's going to roll foul. From India, Yatin Grover said, I'm confused about those letters and what they mean. I get the R for runs and home runs, but the others, RBI, E, and IP, what do they mean?
Well, RBI means run batted in. Now, in this case, we're showing on every scoreboard, you'll see the runs, the hits, and the errors listed. Number of runs, whoever has the most is winning, of course. The most hits usually lead to the most runs, and errors are not good. They show how poorly a team is playing defensively. RBIs, well, Jeter has none in this series, had 84 during the regular season. He had 19 home runs.
2-2 delivery to him. It got it to second base, trying to move the runner up. Play made by Wilson. So Jeter retired, 2 down. Knobloch goes over to third base.
So an RBI is when a hitter gets a hit that scores a run. You get credited for an RBI. And E is an error when you make a misplay in the field. And even Yatin also had IP. That's for pitchers. It means innings pitched. And nowadays you'll see pitchers, maybe the starting pitchers, if they throw 200 innings in a season, they've been one of the better pitchers in the league. In the old days, You can see pitchers throw 300, 350 innings. That doesn't happen anymore.
Paul O'Neill, RBI chance, pops that one up. Vizquel at short, may have the best play. Nope, Giles calls him off. And Giles makes the catch. So O'Neill retired. An unearned run in the inning, as there was 1 run, 2 hits, and an error with a base runner left on. Giles the problem, well, Gerard could be both.
A little hard to stay awake.
Kenny Lofton. David Cone has walked nobody, struck out 5. Indians have left 3 on in 2 innings. Lofton had a leadoff single, but was left stranded at third in the first inning.
I wonder if Jack Nicholson can handle the truth.
That was a good move.
Yeah, it was.
A few good men. Strike on the outside corner. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Well, if he can act in Stephen King storylines, he can handle anything. 2-1 deliveries outside for a ball. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Three-1 delivery by Cone, and he walked him. So the speedster Kenny Lofton draws the first walk of the ball game. It is a leadoff walk, and that is the first time David Cone has walked a leadoff batter this postseason.
And not only walking anybody, walking Kenny Lofton, who is one of the lethal weapons for the Cleveland Indians when he gets on base.
He can steal a base. Omar Vizquel struck out his first time up. See the big numbers he has put up. And a strike on the outside corner. That is the first walk Lofton has had in this series. That's the struggle he's had getting on base.
Not a reason why I mentioned lethal weapon. If you look right next to Jack Nicholson.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, we'll get back to him in just a second. Here's a throw to first.
I noticed that segue.
Yeah.
There he is.
Chris Rock, who is one of the funny comedians here in the United States, also was in the movie Lethal Weapon 4 with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover.
Who's telling you all that?
Nobody's telling me. I saw the movie. Yeah.
Oh, you saw the movie?
Yeah, Chris Rock. He's funny. If you ever seen his routine.
He's very funny. I've seen him on TV.
A lot of his stuff we can't even mention on it.
Most of it. Here's the 0-1 delivery taken inside. A 1 ball, 1 strike count on Omar Vizquel. Omar Vizquel has never made an error in this his 47th career postseason game. Down to first. It'll work like a bunt. Martinez will go to the bag. Down to second base goes Lofton. Vizquel out of there. He's now 0 for 2 in the game. So Cone's getting their hottest hitter out of there. 1 down. David Justice being greeted by Yankee fans.
You know, you've heard of a standing ovation. This is a sitting boovation. In these parts, they call it the Bronx cheer. You know, David might think that or wish there was no justice in the Bronx tonight.
3 for 17. 1 home run that came off Cone. Fastball misses inside. Ball 1. Justice had 2 hits in that first game against David Cone. 2 for 3, including the home run. Runner at second base, Kenny Lofton. Jeter moves in behind him. Lofton stole a base. Third. Uncontested in the first inning. These fans are yelling out their love to David here in New York. Much like Chris Rock's stand-up comedy routine, using words, "we won't." Here's the 1-0 delivery, and it's outside. 2-0.
Yeah, David Justice wearing that elbow pad. Remember, he was hit by El Duque in Cleveland. You know, if I were wearing one of those, I certainly wouldn't wear a multicolored one because it looks more like a target than anything else. But a lot of pitchers mention things about hitters who wear those sort of things. Like you see Mo Vaughn wear it. Jose Canseco wears that sort of thing. And Chuck Knobloch now wears one because he's been hit. Jim Leyritz, that paraphernalia that guards that front arm.
Jeter in. Close play at second base. Lofton did not get a real quick jump back on David Cohn's throw to Jeter.
Well, one reason why they're trying to pick him off, and even if they don't, they'll make them think about taking a bigger lead next time. Now, the whole idea, you want to pick a guy off. That's the best thing that can happen. But you also give a message to him that, hey, we're going to try this and we might try it again.
2-1 delivered to Justice inside. Nice block made by Joe Girardi and a 3-1 count on Justice. Well, David Cohn with 1 walk so far in the game. That's the guy who caught all but one of his games over the last three years. Joe Girardi. So this is a true battery mate in every sense of the word for David Cohn. 3-1. Again, a look back. Justice swinging. Backhanded Martinez. Cohn to cover. Holding at third base Lofton with 2 down.
Made a good pitch on 3-1 to David Justice. A pitch that was down and away and moving away, and Justice hit it off the end of the bat with a slow roller to first base. 3-1 pitch for a hitter. You're looking for something you can really drive, and David Justice, to his credit, goes out and gets it, but the ball had just too much movement, and he hits it off the end of the bat, hits the slow roller to the right side. You know, I really think at 3-1 counts, you're almost to the point as a hitter where you want something really where you can really smash it. That wasn't the type of pitch that could have been driven somewhere.
Manny Ramirez in this postseason now. How tough has David Cohn been? Opponents are 0 for 12 against him with runners in scoring position. He has not given up a hit in this postseason when a runner's been in scoring position. Ramirez will try and end that right here and get Cleveland on the board. 2 down. Runner on at third. That's a quality number. Pitching tough.
Whenever he's got Manny Ramirez in a 2-strike situation, he has shown him something different to get him out. Back in game 2 with a runner at third and 1 out, he got a ground ball back to him on a off-speed breaking ball with a little Louis Tiant movement before delivering. In the first inning tonight, he struck him out. The same sort of thing. Gave him a little hesitation before he delivered the pitch, and kind of a little head bob too, which is disconcerting for the hitter.
Disconcerting for Charlie Manuel, the hitting instructor. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down. Lofton off third, dancing around. Fouled off by Ramirez. Ramirez and Thome lead the Indians in this series with 4 RBIs. Base hit, he can add another, but Cohn's ahead on the count 1-2.
We talked about the different pitches that Cohn throws. He always sets up with the split finger grip, because if he tried to change in his glove to the split finger grip, there'd be too much movement and he would give the pitch away. Now he can always watch him spread his fingers and set up with the split finger grip, just like that. But he might be able to change to a slider or a curveball grip or a fastball grip in the glove. He's changed the grip. It's a different pitch.
1-2 delivery, foul back.
And again, the little hesitation in the head bob.
Went with a fastball. Looked like the 2-seamer.
Here's the look at third. The look towards center. That's Louis Tiant. That is primetime Louis Tiant.
Check out the center fielder and then throw to the plate. Louis used to do.
What they say about Louis, he'll look everybody in the stadium in the eye at least once before the night's over.
1-2 delivery to Ramirez. Outside on the slider. That's the one Ramirez has chased before. 2-2.
You see him change the grip in the glove. Then the slider. See, if you don't start with the split finger, you go to the glove and then try and go to the split finger, everybody will know it because you're jamming the ball in between your fingers. Too much movement.
Changes again. 2-2 delivery. Up high. And he goes 3-2 on Ramirez.
That was a fastball.
Cleveland trying to get on the board. The Yankees leading it 3-0. Jim Thome waiting on deck. Their leading RBI men in the series, back-to-back in the lineup in Ramirez and Thome. Lofton's on at third base, drew a walk, has moved to second and third on ground ball outs. Ramirez takes it, and the second walk, both coming this inning, surrendered by Cone, will bring Thome up as the potential tying run with 2 away.
The first baseman, Jim
Well, we
Thome.
had a look at Charlie Manuel, the hitting coach, and he and Jim Thome have quite a history. Thome was a 13th round draft pick back in 1989, and during the course of his minor league career he struggled somewhat, and the Indians, or some of the Indians, people in the front office in the farm system, wanted to let him go. Well, Charlie Manuel said, let me work with him. I'll turn him into a major league hitter if you just give me some time. And certainly it has paid off for the Indians and Jim Thome and Charlie Manuel.
Big at bat for Jim Thome. 2 on, 2 down. Thome, a .289 career hitter after this past season. Breaking ball. He wanted 3 RBIs on that one. Kenny, we were talking about pitchers. Graham Fordham of Australia had emailed us. What is the pitcher trying to do with the ball on different pitches, like a knuckleball, split finger, slider, changeup, or curveball?
All of those pitches have different breaks to them. They will move in different ways when they come to the plate. A knuckleball just kind of flutters all over the place. Split finger kind of dives and darts. A slider just is that. It slides away from a hitter.
Thome, 1-2.
That was a slider in on the hands of Jim Thome. David Cone's slider from a right-handed pitcher will move away from a right-handed batter and into a left-handed batter like Thome. There are combinations of pitches, like a slurve is a combination of a slider and a curve. David Cone also throws one of those.
There isn't much he doesn't throw.
No, he throws just about everything.
Most of them for strikes. 1 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Indians down 3-0. Have runners at first and third. Thome waiting. Strike 3 called. Six strikeouts in the game for David Cone, and Cleveland is 0 for 7 tonight with runners in scoring position, and they trail 3-0. We were talking about the scoring earlier, where a K represents a strikeout. Jim Thome, a victim.
Look at the package here. Curveball misses, ball 1. There's a slider in on the hand, swing and a miss, 1-1. Another slider fouled back, 1-2. Backdoor slider to the corner, called strike 3.
6 strikeouts in the game for David Cone. They hang a K. 7 rather, 6 every time he gets one. They got 6 up there now.
The reason why that last one was Thome didn't offer, because all the other previous pitches had been inside. He wasn't looking away.
Now Bernie Williams looks to bunt against Nagy, who's given up 3 runs on 6 hits.
Caught Travis Fryman back. Now Travis Fryman comes in even with the bag at third. If Bernie had gotten a good pitch, he would have bunted that towards third and beaten it out.
RBI single in the first inning for Bernie Williams when the Yankees got 2 runs. Fouls that one off outside of first, off the handle that time, and a 1-1 count. Bernie adding to his RBI totals now with 4 in the series.
He's been a patient hitter in this series. He's walked 6 times against Cleveland. Early in the series, he had Tino Martinez behind him, who wasn't swinging the bat very well. Well, he's still behind him, 2 spots behind him.
.290 career hitter in the postseason, the best of the New York Yankees, who've had that many games played. He's played 33 postseason games. Paul O'Neill not far behind him at .296. Tino Martinez struggles the other way. .212 career postseason for Martinez. 2-1 delivery, outside corner, strike call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bernie Williams questioning the call.
Yeah, sometimes you just say friendly to the umpire. I had enough in corner. And the umpire said, yeah, sure did. If you hit it, it'd gone out of the ballpark.
2 ball, 2 strike count. breaking ball and up high. He really didn't want to go after that, but it fouled off anyway. 2-2.
Yeah, one thing that happened, Charles Nagy, the first couple of innings, his pitches have been up, and he's not as overpowering as David Cone, so he has to keep the ball down. Bernie Williams didn't mean to swing at that. That would have been ball 3. And he knows leading off the inning, you got to be a little patient, and if you have to, you take a walk to get on base.
Nagy surrendered 66 walks in the regular season. Bernie Williams has got a base hit to center field. So Williams 2 for 2 in this ball game, 7 for 19 now in the series, and a leadoff single in the third.
Yeah, Bernie Williams did not have a good division series against the Texas Rangers. The Yankees pitched so well that they swept Texas, allowed them just 1 run in the 3-game sweep of the 5-game series. Now here is Bernie Williams, whose bat is starting to heat up here in the ALCS. And his second straight hit, and his second hit into center field.
Kenny Lofton got it back in. Williams on at first. With nobody out, Chili Davis, who picked up the RBI on a sac fly, is 5th, team leading 5th in this series.
But unlike a lot of the Yankees, Chili's only been up 11 times. There have been others who have DH'd in this series. Tim Raines a couple of times.
Darryl Strawberry, of course, out at DH much of the season. Breaking ball towards second base. Enrique Wilson. Vizquel couldn't stay in the bag. He's going to argue. An error on Wilson.
Well, it was a tough play because Wilson was going away from second base and then trying to get the lead runner. Mike Hargrove very close to coming out of the dugout and arguing. Let's see if Vizquel stays on the bag. Yeah, he's got that right foot right on the bag. Bernie Williams should be out. And Vizquel made a heck of a play catching the ball and keeping that foot on the bag. But instead, the call is safe at second when it should not have been.
Well, another missed call. Vizquel argued momentarily. Dino Martinez now runners at first and second. Ted Hendry, he was behind the plate on a lot of discussions by both teams in the game he umpired at the plate, believing both players on both sides believing the ball strike calls that game were not good. 2 on, nobody out. Tino Martinez, 2 errors in the game on the Indians. Breaking ball in for a strike. It was somewhat ironic in that, in talking with Mike Hargrove, the Cleveland manager, before the game, what might be the big advantage for the club facing Cone in this game? Hendry's not behind the plate.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Popped up, third base. Not a lot of room over there. Fryman, no play. Martinez picked up a single his first time up. He's got 2 strikes on him here. That's 7 hits in the game for the Yankees, along with 2 Cleveland errors. Nagy has not struck anybody out. Hargrove can't believe the call. Williams and Davis, the base runners. Infield looking for the ground ball for 2. And Nagy, when he's on, gets a lot of ground balls because generally he has a good sinking fastball. But as Kenny's noted, so far in this game, he's been up.
Yeah, pitches have been up, and the infielders have not been that busy. Only 3 ground ball outs that I see. 1 to Vizquel and 2 to Wilson at second.
2 ball, 2 strike count on Tino Martinez. Nagy 1-0 against the Yankees during the regular season, 7-8 in his career regular season, and 0-1 in the postseason against them. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Nasty breaking ball down and in to Tino Martinez. First strikeout.
Well, one thing the strikeout does, no runners advance, and that picks up the first out and sets up a double play to get out of the inning. Tino Martinez thinks this is a fastball as it approaches the plate, but it has a nasty break on it as he swings over the top and is struck out. So the troubles for Tino Martinez continue as he strikes out with a couple of men on here and doesn't advance anybody.
Only one RBI in this series for Tino Martinez. Big out for Charles Nagy. Now Leday, who grounded out his first time up, first and second with one away. Hit in the air, center field. Kenny Lofton. A lot of room in the Meadowlands here at Yankee Stadium in center. Williams will move over to third. Vizquel, Wilson take the relay throw. 2 down.
A long way to center field here at Yankee Stadium. As we look at the dimensions of this 75-year-old ballpark, which this has not always been the dimensions here. They've changed over the years. 318 down the line, 399 deep in left center field, 408 to center. Long poke that way, 385 to right center, and only 314 down the short right field line.
See, the old wall was the back part, way back. The new wall's the one you see on the left up front. It was even longer in the outfield. Center field, Brocious. This one may be long enough. Way back. Goodbye home run. Scott Brocious, a 3-run homer. And the Yankees take a 6-0 lead.
Now, when a team scores 3 runs with 2 outs on one swing of the bat, it is very demoralizing to the opposition. And Scott Brocious takes the curtain call here at the stadium.
His second postseason home run this year, first in this series. A huge blow against the Indians. Joe Girardi with 2 down. Brocious.
Well, he hit that line drive to the wall in left center. Remember the one that Giles caught? Kenny Lofton's not going to catch this one. That's well over 400 feet.
To right field, Ramirez over and makes the catch. Girardi retired, but 3 runs on 2 hits. An error. Nobody left on base. Nagy giving up the homer. 3 unearned runs because of that error on the missed call at second base. The Yankees in a clinch game may do it here. 6-0 over Cleveland. Did you know Atlanta Braves first baseman Andres Galarraga loves to paint when he's out on the field? Boston Red Sox shortstop Nomar Garcia-Perez, a big soccer fan. You'd know it if you watch Baseball Max. Each week, bringing you highlights from the American and National Leagues along with player profiles, instruction, and more. Baseball Max, check your local listings for the times in your country. Well, David Cohn's got a ton to work with now. And for Nagy, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 3 in the third off him, with Brocious delivering the big 3-run homer. Outside to Fryman. Nagy last year, game 7. Suffered the loss. Hoped this year there would be some redemption for him and for the Indians. You can see the downward look right now, and why not? Travis Fryman chasing Laredo 1-2.
They got that pitch up to Brocious, and very dangerous to Scott Brocious when you elevate a ball about belt high or just a little bit higher.
1-2 delivery is outside. Scott Brocious has 3 home runs against Nagy coming into this postseason. He hit 3 off him and gets another one here in the postseason. 4 in his career. Swung on and missed. Cohn piling up the K's now. He's got 7.
Left fielder,
Career high 19 strikeouts back in 1991.
This is a great slider. Fryman will start the bat and the ball will disappear. It's not where he thought it was.
Cone had those 19 when he was pitching for the New York Mets. Got them against Philadelphia in the National League. He has 7. And we're only in the 4th inning. Brian Giles a single. That's the hit he's got. Game in his last at bat. Inside corner strike 1-1.
Strikeout pitchers usually have power, but they also have precision. And when David Cone has a good breaking ball working, along with a good fastball, slider in on the hands right there.
Play at the plate. Girardi gets rid of the mask. 2 down. David Cone looking to be the clinch master. He's had the opportunity before. David Cone has been in potential clinch situations 4 other times. 1992 Toronto in the ALCS, he lost a clinch, was non-decision in the World Series, and he's been in that situation before. Alomar takes the pitch down low. There you see the list. His 5th start in decisive games. 92 with Toronto, 95 the division series, foul back with the Yankees in the division series in 95. He had a no decision, and then in 1998 had that, this year of course, had that win in the division clincher over Texas. A 1-ball 1-strike count on Alomar as the Cleveland Indian faces are well down 1-2.
They should be, because of the fact they've fallen behind early in the ballgame 6-0. They're watching David Cone and how he's working. He has worked them over with 7 strikeouts and maybe an 8th here as he's facing Sandy Alomar Jr. So they know David Cone's going to have to fall off a cliff for them to win.
Foul back. Cone 1-0 in this postseason with a minuscule .66 ERA. Andy Pettit probably would be the starter if there was a game 7. Joe Torre refused to answer that question again today. It may not matter. 1-2 delivery. Alomar to center field. Bernie Williams. And the Indians, for the first time in the game, are retired in order. David Cone setting him down. And Nagy is done for the night. Cleveland will go to the bullpen. New York Yankees with a chance to end this series with a victory here tonight and a big 6-0 lead going to the bottom of the 4th inning. The ALCS game being seen live around the world by U.S. servicemen and women and their families on the American Forces Network. Now in its 56th year of serving, the U.S. military stationed overseas. Delighted to have all of you with us here in the Bronx, New York at Yankee Stadium. And thanks for the email we've had from men and women of the armed forces around the world. Dave Burba out of the bullpen. Charles Nagy is gone.
Charles Nagy, 3 innings, 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 strikeout, didn't walk anybody. Burba was used as a starter for most of the regular season, but in the postseason has been working out of the bullpen.
Dave Burba last appeared in game 4, worked 3 1/3 innings, gave up 1 run, 1 hit, struck out 4, walked 3. Non-decisioned in the game, but pitched well. Chuck Knobloch leads it off against him, and a fastball for a strike. Knobloch has contributed with a double in the 2nd inning, grounded out first at bat. Run scored on that hit he had in the 2nd, but he was not credited with an RBI. That one popped up first base. Jim Thome in foul territory. 1 down. Most runs the Yankees have scored is 7 in game 1. 7 runs on 11 hits in that game. They've already got 6 runs and 8 hits in this one.
Here's a look at Chris Chambliss, who came up through the Cleveland Indians organization. He wasn't in the minor leagues long, just 1 year. Won the batting title at AAA and was Rookie of the Year in the American Association. Came up to Cleveland in 1971 and was the Rookie of the Year in the American League. And that's never happened to any other Major League Baseball player.
Unique.
Rookie of the Year in his first year in the minor leagues. Next year coming to the major leagues and was Rookie of the Year with the Cleveland Indians in 1971. And this is a guy who knows something about hitting a pennant-winning home run. 1976, homered for the Yankees in the League Championship Series against the Kansas City Royals to win the pennant.
Now coaching the Yankee hitters, Chris Chambliss. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Jeter. 1 for 2, a single and a run scored in the first inning. For Derek Jeter, 4 hits, 22 at bats in this series, and a chopper to short broke the bat. Omar Vizquel hurried. Oh, you got to get it over there. He almost beat that one out. Vizquel almost had his first postseason errors. He had a little trouble getting that into the throwing hand. 2 down.
Any infielder on the left side of the infield in the American League knows when Jeter hits the ball, you got to get it over there. Gets it by about a half a step on that slow roller to the left side. Yep, almost juggled it, transferring from glove to hand. But still, Omar Vizquel streak is intact.
He gets through this game without an error. It will be a new record as he will break Mark Belasher's mark of 17 consecutive ALCS games without an error. That's the glove. It may be gold again this year. Paul O'Neill striking the outside corner. Berber coming on and throwing strikes. 0-2. With Charles Nagy out of there now, the Cleveland starters in 10 postseason games this year have posted a 5.56 earned run average. Wow, is that high?
Yeah, the bullpen's been pretty good. That's what saved it. But the starting pitching, you're not going to beat many teams in a series with an ERA that high.
They've only won 2 games in the postseason. They are 2-4. Not good numbers for the starters. Game 1, Jarrett Wright didn't last the first. Game 5, Chad O.J. out in the second. Tonight, Nagy out in the third. All Cleveland starters who went very little distance into the game. Doc Gooden did not have a good outing in his start. He too suffered. That's been the abysmal area for the Cleveland Indians here in this postseason. It's been the starters. The bullpen has done a good job, but by the time they've gotten into a game, the games have all but been over. 2 down, nobody on. 3-2 count to Paul O'Neill. And Berba gets the strikeout on the outside corner. So for the first time tonight, the Yankees are retired in order as Dave Berba comes out of the pen and sets them down 1-2-3. We've completed 4 here in Game 6. Yankees looking to clinch, have the lead. New York Yankees with a 6-0 lead in this game at Yankee Stadium, where they won 62 games and lost only 19 during the regular season. Obviously a packed house on hand here for tonight's ball game. The Yankees have won 10 of 12 postseason series where they entered the 6th game with a 3-2 lead. 10 of 12, looking to add to that here tonight. They of course would get time off. The World Series will be starting on Saturday at the home of the American League team. Enrique Wilson, and he lofts that one into right for a base hit in front of Paul O'Neill. So Wilson is on 1 for 2 in the game, 3 for 12 in the series, and the 4th hit off David Cone. It's the 3rd time in 5 innings the Indians have been able to get the leadoff man on base, but it hasn't meant much to them as they've stranded 5.
Well, the thing about every previous inning, David Cone's had at least 1 strikeout. So that means that at least one guy doesn't advance anybody, doesn't set the rest of the inning up for the hitters following him into the order.
4 out of 5 innings. 4 out of 5 leadoff man on for Cleveland. That generally means runs. Kenny Lofton has singled and walked in this game. Cone missing down low to him. Ball 1.
Well, Lofton with the good speed, of course, being able to bunt, and Scott Broch is in on the grass again.
Speed delivery for a strike, 1-1.
Be interesting to see if Lofton tries to slap one by him if he gets a pitch out over the plate.
He'll try and put it between third and short. Not on that pitch. David Cone jammed him right off the top hand of the bat. 1-2.
Here's a look at the last pitch. Boy, that was centered. He had a good cut, but a little late. That's what I mean. David Cone, a little overpowering. There's Scott Broch is dropping back with 2 strikes. Doesn't think Lofton will bunt.
Just missed outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Cone wanted that one, didn't get it.
He wanted that backdoor slider. The one that the left-hand hitters kind of give up on. They think it's going to be outside. Then it dips for the corner, and he picks up a strike.
Remember, 100 pitches is where they get worried about David Cone. That one lofted towards right center field. O'Neill won't have a play on that one. He'll have to play it on the hop. Wilson will go to third, and the Indians have their first 2 on. Runners at first and third with nobody out. Lofton, who came into this game 3 for 23, now has got 2 hits and a walk in 3 plate appearances.
This is a split finger that kind of hangs up right in the middle of the plate for Lofton to hit. See, that one doesn't do very much, and Lofton hits a kind of a humpback line drive into right center field for the base hit. O'Neill coming over, slow footing out there in the outfield, and plays it on a hop.
That will bring Mel Stottlemyre out to talk with David Cone, discussing about the placement of that last pitch. You saw right there, he said, "I'm all right." Yankees are not going to go too deep here if there's any question about the effectiveness of whoever is on the mound.
And if I read Mel Stottlemyre's lips correctly, he said, "Let's get a ground ball here," which could mean a double play. He's got the speedy runner at first and a speedy runner at the plate in Omar Vizquel.
Yankee bullpen will be active. Omar Vizquel takes a strike on the inside corner. Graham Lloyd, the left-hander. Mario Mendoza, the right-hander. Vizquel, switch hitter, first and third. Nobody out. Stays inside to him again. Missed with that one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The other night I was talking about the shortstops from Venezuela, and I left out Chico Carrasquel, who was the first of all of them.
Good play. That one hits the umpire, Hendry. Run will score. And Cleveland finally gets an umpiring break.
Now this is not a break because the runner Wilson will have to go back to third base. A fielder has to have a chance to make the play before if the umpire is hit with a ball. Now a fielder did not have a chance to make the play. The ball hit the umpire, and that means Wilson will go back to third base. Lofton will go to second, and I believe Vizquel will be credited with a base hit. Wilson will not score.
Now the question is, would that ball have been playable if it doesn't hit Hendry, the second base umpire?
I don't think so. I think the ball would have gone into center field for a base hit.
Torrey wants to know what the ruling is.
The ruling is that Vizquel will get a base hit. But the runners, unless they are moved up by Vizquel, only can advance 1 base, and that means that Wilson has to stay at third. Here's a look at it again. Solid line drive. See, the ball would have gone into the outfield for a base hit, but when it hit Hendry, no Yankee infielder had a chance to make the play. If they had, then
Mike Hargrove is going to be going, is Ted Henry really paid by the Yankees? He missed the call at second base that set up the 3-run homer by Brocious. He had the game at the plate where everybody argued with his balls and strikes. Now he gets hit at second base on a play that would have gone through and scored a run. David Justice, wouldn't you know it, bases loaded. Breaking ball missed outside. Ball 1. It's the second time we've had an umpire at second base involved in a play on a throw down to second base from the catcher. That one fouled off. The second base umpire was hit, preventing a play being made.
It was Jim McKean.
He's the home plate umpire in this game.
That is one of the most embarrassing things for an umpire, to be hit by a batted ball.
Bases loaded, nobody out. David Justice trying to generate some big runs here. Cohn's pitch to him, missed inside. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
What David Cohn is trying to do now is minimize the damage in this inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. He's trying to, well, maybe just give up 1 run if he can.
He'll play for a double play and a ground ball. 2-1 delivery is inside. 3 balls and 1 strike on David Justice. You see the Cleveland Indians, anything to get it going. Justice went 3 for 8 with the bases loaded this year. Did not have a grand slam home run. 3-1 delivery. Ball 4, walked a run in. So Cleveland gets on the board on a bases loaded walk to David Justice. Enrique Wilson scores, and it is a 6-1 Yankee lead.
Well, he finally got home.
Right fielder.
3rd walk given up by David Cohn.
And from the Indian standpoint, better late than never.
And Justice does get credited with an RBI. Now Joe Torre has come out and is going to make a medical visit. They go to the home plate umpire to say we're going out because we're concerned about something physically wrong with David Cohn.
That is assistant trainer Steve Donahue going out there with Joe Torre. And why Jim McKean goes out there as well, he makes sure there is no discussion of strategy. Everything is of a physical nature about the pitcher. And David Cohn has assured Joe Torre that he is okay, and everybody departs.
You can only go out to visit your pitcher, any of the coaches, only 1 time in any given half inning. But if you go out for medical purposes, it doesn't count as that time.
If you go out that second time, he's automatically out of the game.
Bases remain loaded, and here's Ramirez, the heart of this Cleveland order now, coming up against David Cohn. They've not been able to produce runs in this series. Still nobody out. And a strike on the outside corner. Ramirez has had a walk and is struck out. He is 0 for 4 against David Cohn in this series. 6 for 21 against him in the regular season. And Ramirez takes it outside for a ball.
Now the faces on the Indians bench have a little more hope to them. The expressions.
They've had chances, as we mentioned, in this ball game, having left 5 on coming into the inning. Ramirez had 2 grand slams during the regular season. Breaking ball missed outside. He had 8 hits in 16 at-bats with the bases loaded. A .500 hitter with the bases loaded, including 2 grand slams from Manny Ramirez.
David Cohn is just missing with that slider now. The Indians are laying off of it, making him come into the strike zone.
2 ball, 1 strike count. That's on the outside corner. 2-2 to Ramirez.
He's gotten 2 strikes with the fastball and missed with 2 sliders. I don't think he wants to go to a full count. And the only pitch he's been able to control in this inning more or less has been his fastball.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Bases loaded, nobody out. Ramirez is strikeout victim number 8.
Well, the Coneheads get a little busy.
2 times he struck out tonight.
Let's see what this pitch is. I don't think it was fastball. It was a slider that kind of hung. Remember the creativity. This is a different type of pitch. He drops down sidearm. It picks up the strikeout. You see the reaction of the crowd.
Now Jim Thome drills it deep right field, way back. Goodbye. Grand slam home run into the upper deck by Jim Thome. And the Cleveland Indians are back in this game. It is 6-5.
They had the right man up at the right time. He has been their hottest home run hitter, and he gets up there with the bases loaded and goes way back in the upper deck here at Yankee Stadium.
What a shot for the Cleveland Indians, who must win to keep this season alive. Jim Thome's put him back in the game. A 1-run game, 5 runs on 7 hits now off David Cone.
This pitch is right there for right down the middle of the plate, and somebody has a souvenir in the far reaches of Yankee Stadium.
4 home runs in this series. The other 3 came off left-handers. Thome got to David Cone on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike count, and foul back, only 1 away. Travis Fryman will try and keep it going, and Thome celebrates.
Remember the looks on the faces of the Cleveland Indians at the beginning of the inning? Now look. Quite a startling change.
He did not have a grand slam during the regular season. Saved it. 1-2 delivery, fouled off on the slider away, and a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Fryman.
Now with a home run by Thome. The pressure now falls on Dave Berber to try and hold the Yankee bats quiet.
He came out throwing strikes, Kenny. He looked good to start anyway. 1-2 delivery. That one hit in the air, left center field. Ricky Leday is over and will put it away. Fryman is retired. He's 0-3. And there are 2 down here in the 5th inning. David Cone surrendered 20 home runs during the regular season. 12 to left-handers. That's one he'd like to have back.
Wow, that pitch was right. Thome couldn't have called for a better pitch to hit. It was right in the middle of the plate, and when he hit it, he knew it was gone.
So these 2 teams who have struggled in this series to score runs have now put up 11 of them combined on 15 hits in this game.
A lot of good hitters in both these lineups, and you can only hold them down but so long.
2 down, bases empty. Giles up. This is the 8th man up in the inning. Giles 1 for 2 with a single. Berba's on in relief of Charles Nagy, who gave up all 6 runs. To left field, Leday coming, and he's got it. But Cleveland delivers the big blow from Charles Nagy, from David Cone rather, to Thome. A grand slam home run. The other came on a bases loaded walk. Well, here at Yankee Stadium, they had started to celebrate what they thought might be a win. Jim Thome has quieted that.
Yeah, with Jim Thome, we mentioned that he had broken his hand earlier and then came back for a while and wasn't swinging the bat well. And he didn't swing the bat well in the division series against the Red Sox, but in this series against the Yankees, he has found his stroke again.
David Cone struck Thome out 3 times. First time he faced him in this series, and it struck him out again in this game after Thome had a single in his first at bat, and then Thome launched it. So it is a 6-5 Yankee lead now as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Dave Berba working to Williams, who's 2 for 2. 2 singles, a run scored, and an RBI. And the pitch is inside for a ball. Berba falls behind, 2-0. Bernie Williams now with 7 hits and 19 at bats in this series. League's leading hitter has come on strong against the Indians. Berba's 2-0's whip foul into the seats. 2-ball, 1 strike count.
The thing about the Yankee offense right now, they know they still have the lead by 1 run, but they can hear those footsteps of the Cleveland Indians coming. The Indians are all fired up now. The momentum in this game has shifted over to the other side of the field. So what the Yankees offense has to do, they have to come back and score some runs. Regain somewhat of a more comfortable lead if they can.
And Berba misses inside. 3-ball, 1 strike count. 3 walks by David Cone, 8 strikeouts. Charles Nagy didn't walk anybody but gave up the 8 hits and 6 runs. Scott Brocious, the big blow for the Yankees in the game with a home run in the 3rd inning. 3-run shot. 3-1 delivery by Berba's down low, and he walks the leadoff batter.
That's the 7th time that Bernie Williams has walked in this series.
Being very careful with Bernie Williams, the Cleveland pitchers.
Yeah, but you're leading off an inning, you got to throw him strikes. Well, we talked about the all-time postseason home runs. Mickey Mantle, Reggie Jackson, Babe Ruth, Manny Ramirez, Yogi Berra, and now Jim Thome in 44 games. 2 Indians and 4 Yankees on that list.
And another discussion at the mound as Cleveland got to have effective pitching right now. Steve Reed, the right-hander. Jim Poole, the left-hander. They just got up to throw in the pen. Remember, Cleveland's in a must-win situation. They lose and it's over, and the Yankees win the American League pennant.
Gary, we just showed that list of postseason home runs. And in all fairness to Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra, who made that list, they did it in only World Series games. There were no American League Championship Series or Division Series. And Jim Thome and Reggie Jackson and Manny Ramirez have gotten their home runs in earlier rounds than the World Series. But they're still considered postseason home runs.
The old asterisk problem.
Yeah, well, in Mickey Mantle's and Yogi Berra's days with the Yankees, they went to the World Series just about every year.
Yep. Jim Thome's hoping to get there along with Ramirez this time. Chili Davis up, runner at first base, nobody out. Berba gets a strike on the outside corner. National League off, of course, today. The Atlanta Braves down 3-0. 2 wins in San Diego have taken that series back to Atlanta. 2 winners, of course, go on to the World Series. 0-1 count, Berba. Fastballs down low, 1 ball, 1 strike on David.
Yeah, from this point on, this game is going to boil down to a battle of the bullpens. And both bullpens in this series have been very effective.
You mentioned the Cleveland bullpen hasn't lost a game. They've won 3. They've pitched much better than the starters. The Cleveland starters, as we mentioned, their ERA up over 5.5 runs a game, while the bullpen is 2.98 for a combined ERA in the postseason coming into this game.
Now, we just saw Berba rubbing up the ball, and people out there might wonder why does he do that? What he does, it kind of takes the slickness off the ball and get a better grip.
2-1 delivery. That grip worked that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Chili Davis had a good swing at this pitch. Actually just had enough movement away from him to cause the swing and a miss. The pitch kind of looked like it was in the middle, but it was tailing away.
Tough pitch to pull the ball on.
Yeah, you're thinking right center or left center on a pitch like that.
Williams at first with nobody out. 2-2 the count. And Berba will have to do it again on the foul ball straight back. 6 runs, 8 hits, an error for the Yankees. 5 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors from the Indians. And right now, some big unearned runs. 3 unearned runs in that 3rd inning on the Brocious home run resulting from the error charged to Enrique Wilson at second base, which on the replay showed there should have been an out at second, and there wasn't. So he got charged with an error. Throw over to first. Williams back on the belly. Ted Henry, the man who's been in the middle of a lot of things here in this series. It's kind of ironic. I mean, coming in before the series ever started, you talk to anybody covering, they said, guarantee you the umpires will be a story in this series. They are. 2-2 the count. Williams not going. Davis check swing is gone. Burba gets the strikeout. That will be his second. One down.
Kept the ball down and was able to get Chili Davis out after all of those pitches up. Chili Davis, a good low ball hitter. That looked to be a splitter. So what pitchers like to do, and why Chili Davis struck out, because the ball is towards the middle of the plate. If the pitch is away, outside or inside, he won't swing at it. And you saw him go around far enough for the strikeout.
Check swing strikeout. Now Tito Martinez. He has singled and struck out on the fifth foul back. Hey, didn't we have an email about check swings?
Yeah, we did. Could you please explain to me how far the batter must go around for a strike to be called? And that's from Martin Partridge in Auckland, New Zealand. And you saw Chili Davis. When Chili came around far enough, usually umpires, when they see that the barrel of the bat go in front of home plate, they'll call that a swing. That's good enough.
Martinez, the 0-1 pitch is in there, took something off the fastball. 0-2 the count.
This is a check swing, but Chili Davis will indeed go around far enough. So he's trying to hold the bat back, but he can't do it. See, he tried to check it, but then the bat followed through, and that's a swing.
0-2 delivery, swung on and missed. Burba gets his third strikeout. There you see that pitch tailing away again from the right-hander.
Dave Burber's got a good little rhythm going. I know he walked Bernie Williams to start the inning, but once he got to the stretch position, they settled right down, striking out Chili Davis and now Tino Martinez. Watch this pitch go down and away. Another split finger as Tino Martinez is struck out.
Tino now 2 hits and 19 at bats in the series, and a few boos as he went back to the dugout from his own Yankee fans here. Timeout taken, 2 down. 6-5 Yankees on top. Ricky Leday getting a start in left field, is grounded out and flied out. Leday went 1 for 3 off Burba during the regular season. Bernie Williams leadoff walk still at first base. Strike 1. Want to remind you, we'd love to hear from you on our email. Any questions, comments, say hi to us at www.worldseries.com. Get online right now, and we will recognize as many of those emails as we can. Nowhere near able to get all of them, but we do read them all and appreciate your sending them along.
Chad Curtis looking on. Ricky Leday got the start tonight in left field.
The left fielders were 1 for 18. Shane Spencer. Tim Raines, who's really struggling. Knees really bothering him. Pitches outside. 1 for 18 coming into this, and Leday has gone 0 for 2. So Joe Torre said, why not?
I
try somebody.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get to see if Ricky Leday can get some big hits in big situations here.
2 ball, 1 strike count. 2 down, runner on at first base. Leday working the count to his favor off Dave Burba.
You know, sometimes when a manager makes a move and puts somebody new in, well, that player, of course, wants to get in there and do well and maybe hold on to a job for a while.
Also looking ahead to the future. I mean, if they're struggling out there in left field to have somebody to play, for people like Leday, it's an opportunity. You do well here, you may have a job next year.
Well, Leday does have the tools. The only problem he had during the course of the year, he struck out much too much. He only had 79 at bats, but he struck out 29 times, which is too high a ratio. He can play an excellent outfield. Has a strong arm. Good range out in left field. You need it here at Yankee Stadium. Covers a lot of ground.
And missed inside to take the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 0 for 2 in this game. Ledet has played in only 3 games in the postseason and has only 3 at-bats. Cleveland bullpen remains active. 3-2 count, 2 down. Williams at first will be running on the pitch. He does to second base. Enrique Wilson's got this one over to Jim Thome, and that will do it. So Dave Berber survives a leadoff walk in the inning. 1 left on base by the Yankees. Cleveland Indians must win to keep their season alive. They trail by 1. A good ball game as the Yankees try and clinch the American League pennant for the 35th time, while the Indians try and keep their season alive. Yankees lead it by 1. And a full house, seeing a good ball game. David Cone will leave the game after 5 innings. Could be the winning pitcher. 5 runs, 7 hits off him. Walked 3 and struck out 8.
Young man from Los Santos, Panama, Ramiro Mendoza, will come on and do the pitching for the Yankees. You can see his record outstanding. 10-2 on the year. Not many strikeouts, not many walks. Excellent control. His forte is getting the ground ball out. His nickname is El Brujo, the witch doctor, because his pitches move so much.
El Brujo.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is just his 2nd appearance in the postseason. Both have been against Cleveland. He's worked an inning and a third in a game, gave up no runs on 3 hits. So Mendoza's on, Sandy Alomar's up. Alomar the only man not to hit in the 5th inning for the Indians. Down to 3rd. Great stop, Brocious. Plenty of time. Got him.
One thing that Scott Brocious brought to the Yankees this year was an excellent third base, the ability to play third base. Now, he made a lot of errors during the course of the year, but he's capable of making this spectacular play, as he does right here, wrapping Sandy Alomar of a 2-base hit.
So Alomar finally hits one hard, and they make the defensive play on him. Sandy Alomar cannot buy one here. He's had just 1 hit in 16 at-bats in this series.
Do you notice when Brocious got up how much time he had to throw across the diamond, because Alomar having a tough time running down to third, or down to first.
Enrique Wilson takes a strike. Alomar playing in pain. Knees and back really bothering him. Wilson picked up a single to lead off that 5th inning. He ignited it and scored one of the runs, one of the 5 runs on 4 hits in the 5th off David Cone.
Ramirez said Ramiro Mendoza has a good sinker and a good curve and a good change.
Toward short, Derek Jeter. 2 down. We want to remind you, if there is a game 7, Cleveland must win for that to happen. We would have it for you tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern, midnight Greenwich Mean Time. Bartolo Colon will definitely start for Cleveland. Andy Pettit may start if there's a game 7 for the Yankees. El Duque, Orlando Hernandez is the other name being mentioned as a possible starter. Joe Torre has not made that decision, or at least has been unwilling to announce it. He said it would be bad karma to talk about game 7 at this point. So Pettit on the left, El Duque, Orlando Hernandez on the right, the 2 who might start a game 7. But that only happens if Cleveland wins this game. Kenny Lofton has finally had himself a big ball game in the leadoff spot, as he has picked up 2 singles and a walk in 3 plate appearances.
First 2 outs are on the ground, and if Ramiro Mendoza continues to work this way, infielders will be busy, particularly to that breaking ball. He has a good breaking ball, but the sinker is his best pitch. Just when hitters go to swing at it, the ball sinks and they top it and hit the ground balls.
Fans tried to make it a strike, but it's outside. 1-2. 26 years old, 6-1 as a starter, 4-1 as a reliever. Fouled off. He had 14 game starts. ERA was 3.87 in 88 innings. Worked in relief 27 times and a 1.93 ERA. It's be almost Halloween time. 1-2 delivery. Just missed again.
Mendoza had been a starter early in the season, but around June, just before the midway point in the season, El Duque came to the major leagues, and Ramiro Mendoza went to the bullpen.
Joe Torre has had the unique advantage in a day and age where pitching is so difficult to find at the major league level, to have 6 starters on his staff.
And one as versatile as Mendoza, who went to the bullpen and continued to do a good job.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, bases empty. Toward second base, Knobloch. Nifty play. So 3 ground ball outs as Ramiro Mendoza retires. All 3 he faces. Little help from his D, a couple of good plays, and the Yankees lead it by 1. Beautiful shot of Yankee Stadium with the fans, Yankee fans, hoping that tonight's the night they clinch a pennant. 6-5, Yankees lead it. Dave Burba still on the mound for the Indians. Scott Brocious, last time up, 3rd inning. Big blow. Brocious this time to short. Vizquel, the human vacuum cleaner, commits an error. Omar Vizquel has had his streak ended.
Well, this crowd is stunned, and so is Mike Hargrove. His first error ever in the postseason. Let's see if there's any clue as to why a bad throw. Now, everything seemed to line up all right. Maybe just had too much time. And overthrows Jim Thome. It's a routine play. He just threw it away. Wow.
47 postseason games. He commits the error the first and the 47th.
Plenty of time. It just sails and over Thome off the glove. And Brocious is safe. Wow.
So Mark Belage's record will not be broken. Vizquel had tied him but needed to get through this game for an American League Series record without an error. Joe Girardi, that's 3 errors now in the Indians, and it has cost them. Brocious has been involved in all of it. Brocious hit the home run in the 3rd inning, a 3-run shot, and all 3 runs are unearned. Now leading off the 6th inning, he reaches base on an error. Joe Girardi has singled and flied out. Burba, the bunt is fouled. That's where a pitcher wants the ball if a guy at the plate's trying to bunt against him.
They almost got him right on the hand as Girardi fouls the ball off. Now, one thing that Joe Torre likes to do with Joe Girardi at the plate, he's a good contact hitter. He likes to start Scott Brocious and have Girardi put the ball in play. So he might try and cross up the Indians infield, which is looking for the bunt right here, and go with the hit and run. You can see Travis Fryman in on the grass at 3rd.
Nobody out. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Squares again, takes a strike, 1-2.
Here's a sign for Willie Randolph. 3rd base coach, 6-time All-Star with the Yankees. Relays the signs to Girardi and Brocious.
Brocious and Girardi were the 2 leading sack men on the Yankees in the regular season with 8 sack bunts apiece. Gets away, down he goes. Alomar's throw, not in time. Brocious will take second base on the wild pitch.
I always see the Yankees a couple of times in this series get breaks on wild pitches. Good read by Brocious over at first base. He saw the ball in the dirt off the chest protector far enough away that Sandy Alomar Jr. did not have a chance to throw him out. Good instincts and good moves on the bases by Brocious.
Burba has had 2 wild pitches in the postseason. He led the ball club with 6 during the regular season. So this could be a real manufactured run. Brocious reaching on an error, getting second on a wild pitch, and Girardi will step out as Alomar has trouble getting the signs down with Dave Burba.
Well, the signs change when a runner goes down to second base. They become a little bit more complicated. They don't want the runner at second to be able to relay pitches or location to the hitter at the plate.
Nobody out. 2-2 delivery. Girardi drills it down the line. It is a foul ball.
Well, the Indians have certainly opened the door for the Yankees in this inning. First, the unexpected, and it comes around, I guess, once like Haley's Comet, the error by Omar Vizquel. Then the wild pitch to move Brocious down to second base. Of all the Indians, that's the last man you would think that would have a miscue.
2-2 count again. Brocious off second. Fouled the other way this time by Girardi.
One thing the Yankees did a lot during the course of the season, making productive outs. And what I mean by that is when they have runners, they move them up. Even if you make it out, you set it up for the next guy and move the runner along at least 90 feet.
Girardi wants to hit the ball if it's on the ground to the right side of the infield, the first or second, so the runner can advance. 2-2 pitch. Missed outside. 3-2.
The target's away. The pitch is just a little bit too far outside. See Sandy Alomar trying to kind of edge that thing back towards the corner, but Jim McKean wouldn't call it.
Fans up at Yankee Stadium. 3-2. And Girardi's on with a walk. Two walks off Burba. Now 2 on. Nobody out.
Bunt situation for the Yankees. There's Mark Wiley's going to go out to the mound. And a lot of times when you're if you don't make the perfect bunt, you want the pitcher to field the ball. The pitcher is usually the worst fielder in the infield. So Mark Wiley's going to come out. They're going to set their defensive posture. We've seen the Indians run the wheel play, trying to get the force at third base, and you can do that when you have a shortstop like Omar Vizquel, who's speedy. Fryman's a good fielder at third, also a former shortstop. So they're talking about what to expect. I think everybody in the ballpark knows that Chuck Knobloch should be bunting to move the runners along with nobody out.
All of the infielders are in as they listen to how Hargrove wants to play this as Wiley goes out to tell the team. Willie Randolph, in the meantime, calls Chuck Knobloch down just to make sure that he knows what they want to do here.
Well, he knows that they want him to bunt, but I think he's telling him, you know, watch Vizquel at shortstop. If they put the wheel play on and shortstop opens up, take a swing at it. Try and chop one right through that vacated hole. This could be one of the key spots in the game. The Yankees have a chance to set up a pretty big inning by putting 2 runners into scoring position.
Knobloch had 2 sacrifices during the regular season.
That's not very many. And he doesn't bunt very often for a guy who's a leadoff hitter. He's not like Lofton. He's not the accomplished bunter.
The wheel, pickoff play at second. Heads up base running by Brocious, who went right back to the bag.
Yeah, we saw this play by the Indians early. They have Vizquel start running towards third. The runner at second thinks that he's got some leeway at second, but the second baseman, Wilson, will sneak in behind him. See, the shortstop's supposed to catch his eye. He thinks he has a safe lead, but the second baseman's coming in behind him.
The wheel is on, and the bunt down to third is foul. They move the shortstop over to cover third with the corners charging.
See, it helps to have a speedy shortstop because he can hold his position and then really take off. They're trying to get the ball bunted to Fryman, who will pick it up and then throw to Vizquel if it's fair. They try and get the force at third. Now Joe Torre. Oh, he might change up and let Knobloch swing while everybody's in motion.
And Mike Hargrove might change up, put nobody in motion.
Exactly. See that. That's why this could be a key in this ball game if Knobloch can advance the runners.
Nobody out. Yankees have a 6-5 lead. This time swung on, fouled off, and they did not send Vizquel over to third. So both managers did change up. Torrey took the bunt off. Hargrove took the wheel off.
Watch Fryman come down. Vizquel will hold his ground. I think Vizquel thinks he could beat Brocious at third base.
He did last time. Now do you bunt with 2 strikes?
No. Knobloch, I don't think Knobloch is that good a bunter. He hasn't done it very often this year. You got to hope that he hits the ball and advances runners if he doesn't drive somebody in himself.
Again, he'll want to hit the ball on the ground towards right field. Towards the first, second base side. So Brocious, the lead runner, can get over. Vizquel moving over to hold the runner. And it's up high. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Knobloch.
I didn't expect that pitch to be a strike because of the 2 strikes, 0-2. You can afford to waste the pitch just to see if he's going to bunt.
And he wasn't. Hey, you know him.
Al Bunbury, former teammate and a good bunter.
1-2 the count on Knobloch. Not bunting, fouls it off. Stays with a ball and 2 strikes.
And Bunbury during his long career was primarily a leadoff hitter like Chuck Knobloch. 1980, first Baltimore Oriole ever to get over 200 hits in a season. Had 205. That record was since broken by Cal Ripken. But he scored well over 100 runs that year. It helped me drive in 100.
And you like that?
Oh, yeah. He was out there all the time that year.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Knobloch trying to advance the runners at first and second. Now bunts, popped it up. Nobody's going to get it. Foul ball, foul ball. Runner is out. And the other runners have to go back. And was that close? If that ball is touched while the fielder's in fair territory, there's a real problem for Cleveland.
Yeah, it's not so much where the fielder is, it's where the ball is. And Knobloch trying to bunt. We mentioned he doesn't bunt very often, and he popped it up. Trying to surprise the Indians with 2 strikes. Pops the ball up. Now watch as Berber tries to catch the ball on the fly. The ball is fair, then bounces foul. If he touched it in fair territory, that would have been a major mistake.
Now does Berba draw his glove back? Does he realize?
Now he can touch it. It's a foul ball.
It looked like after he started diving, he realized he really didn't want to touch it and kind of pulled his glove in underneath him.
Well, he came up short to begin with. You see Alomar right away realize I'm not touching this ball.
This is the way a clinch game should be.
Wow.
Every pitch matters. So again, Knobloch jinxed in a bunt situation. This time on a strikeout as he tried to bunt with 2 strikes on it.
We've had 2 hitters do that tonight now. Vizquel in the first inning and now Knobloch trying to bunt with 2 strikes. Neither one successful.
Still 2 on, but 1 away. Derek Jeter. Single and has grounded out twice in this game. Breaking ball, jammed him, right field, in the gap. Ramirez back at the wall. It's off the top. 1 run scores. Jeter's on his way to third. Throw to the plate, not in time. A 2 RBI triple for Derek Jeter. And the Yankees lead it 8-5.
Gary, when Derek Jeter hit that ball, I did not think it was going that far. He kind of fought the ball off of it, and we talked about Jeter's improved power over the years. This is his 3rd year in the American League. Had kind of an awkward swing. kind of fights the ball off of him, but got good wood on it. This ball carries and carries and carries, and Manny Ramirez can't. Well, he ran by the ball. If he'd stuck his glove out, he might have caught it. Look at this. He runs to the wall and leaps, thinking it's a home run, and it lands below him. He ran by the ball in the outfield. And 2 runs score on the triple. A bizarre swing and a bizarre play in right field. Now look at Jeter. He's got all types of speed. So once that ball gets by, he's thinking 3-base hit. He's checking the runners in front of him. The Yankees have the 2 runs, and Jeter has the triple.
Derek Jeter. Watch this. Ramirez goes up, and the ball.
He thinks it's a home run, and he runs by the ball. He could have caught it.
Manny Ramirez can't believe it. Derek Jeter comes up big, and the Yankees have an 8-5 lead, and Burba's out of the game. An error by Vizquel on the right. At least 1 run in this inning is unearned. A misplay by Ramirez on this one.
Well, he's back to the wall. He's looking at the ball now, and for some reason, he's up against the wall, and the ball is at the bottom. It looks like he's going to be able to catch the ball to me here, but for some reason, oh, he runs right by it, heads for the wall.
Infield is drawn in. Paul O'Neill. Ground ball. Jeter will hold at third, so the drawn in infield works there. As O'Neill grounds out against the left-hander Jim Poole. That'll be the only man he's going to face. So Poole comes on and works to 1 batter to get O'Neill out of there, and does. Now there are 2 down. Jeter getting his first RBIs of this series, 2 of them on the Yankees' first triple. Remains at third base. Poole will come out of the game, and he got the man O'Neill he was sent in to get.
The only hit that Dave Burba gave up was a ball that should have been caught.
And as we said, there have been at least 4 unearned runs, depending how this inning ends, in this game, given up by Cleveland, committing 3 errors. Dave Burba with a towel on his head, as Kenny said, giving up just 1 hit, but a costly triple to the man on the right, Derek Jeter.
Well, first of all, the reason why Jeter was able to hit the ball so far, he got good wood on it. Not his best swing. Alomar wants the ball. It's a slider, down and away. But instead, it's up and towards the middle. Jeter, while not great extension on the swing, does get good wood on it and fights the ball off. Ramirez might have been playing him a little cheaply in right field. And the ball was misplayed in the outfield. Should have been caught.
They change up in the bullpen now. They had Reed up, but they bring Shuey in as he got up in a hurry. Appearing in his 5th game in this series. He has been a workhorse here in the postseason. Bernie Williams takes a strike, a runner at third, and 2 down. Yankees now leading at 8-5.
Ten strikeouts for Shuey.
He is not allowed a run in 7 2/3 innings of relief work. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bernie Williams.
Good fastball, good breaking ball, excellent split finger. When I say good fastball, I usually don't use that unless I mean about 92, 93, maybe even higher miles per hour.
Bernie Williams has already picked up an RBI with a single, 2 for 2 and a walk in the game. And Ramirez will not want to be watching that replay that everybody's going to be replaying on that ball he misjudged, and Vizquel committing an error that opened the inning up, allowing Brocious to reach on his throwing miscue.
When you make an error in the field, you hope the other team doesn't score.
Down low to Bernie Williams, 3-1, Jeter at third.
And when you come back to the dugout and they haven't scored, you kind of breathe a sigh of relief. But when it kind of opens up the door, but you feel if there were a hole out there at shortstop, Omar would crawl into it right now.
A couple of big no-nos started this inning. The error by Vizquel and the walk surrendered by Burba to Girardi.
See, we talked about the shifts in the momentum. They've shifted back to the other side now.
2 down, 3-1 delivery. Williams, base hit, RBI. Bernie Williams comes through. Jeter scores. 9-5 New York. Another unearned run.
You know, if you're Paul O'Neill in that dugout, in the Yankee dugout, after not driving in the run with the runner at third base, you got to give a big pat on the back to Bernie Williams for picking you up. This is what teammates are all about. One doesn't get the job done, the other does. And in Bernie Williams' case, with 2 outs, that's a big momentum shift when you score a run with 2 outs. We've seen the Yankees score 4 runs in this game at least with 2 outs. A 3-run homer and now a single that drives in a run.
Bernie Williams with 2 RBIs in the game. Now it's 5 in the series. He is 3 for 3 in this ball game, and now has 8 hits and 20 at-bats in the series. Burba charged with the 3 runs that have scored here in the 6th. Chili Davis swung on and missed. 1 strike count. Davis has struck out, reached on an error, and sacrifice fly for an RBI.
So with the Yankees picking up these 3 runs, Mike Hargrove knows that his ball club's running out of time. 3 innings ago, the Indians do have an explosive offense, but 3 innings represents 9 outs, and they can go in a hurry sometimes.
Keeping Williams close at first base. So Shuey coming on in relief. That's 7 2/3 innings of relief work without a run. That's gone. Yankees now with 9 runs on 10 hits in the game. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. 0-2.
Still appears that Shuey has a good fastball despite being worked in what'd you say now, 5 games out of the 6? The thing about it, though, the one he tried to throw by Bernie Williams, he couldn't get it by him on the inner half. The one that was delivered for the base hit.
0-2 delivery. Runner goes. Throw down by Alomar. Tagged by Vizquel, and they got him. So Bernie Williams caught stealing. Alomar got it on the money, but the Yankees do damage. An error and a walk started. Then Jeter rifling the first Yankee triple, picks up his first 2 RBIs. Ramirez misplaying a ball, and the Yankees 9, Cleveland. Vizquel, who committed the error on the left. Ramirez, who misplayed the ball. They opened the door, and the Yankees took advantage of it. Right now, the story in this game 6.
Well, you certainly don't expect Vizquel to make an error. We had talked about Manny Ramirez and his improved fielding, taking a lot of fly balls this year, but certainly misjudged that one and opened the door for the Yankees to score 3 runs and regain a fairly sizable lead.
And that, of course, is the mark of 2 teams. One with a negative as far as the Indians are concerned. The other, the positive, that the Yankees were able to take advantage of the miscue. Well, now Cleveland's going to have to try and come back again. Omar Vizquel leading it off. Takes the strike as we go to the 7th inning with a 9-5 lead. Ramiro Mendoza working in relief. David Cone still the pitcher of record for the Yankees. That'll be fouled off and out of play, and a 2-strike count on Vizquel. Now Vizquel, the hottest hitter, 1 for 3 in this game. Now 11 for 23 in the series for Cleveland.
The key for the Yankees here with Mendoza on the mound is get that first guy out in every inning. The ground ball pitcher that he is, if somebody should get on base, capable of getting ground ball and the possibility of double plays.
In at third was Brocious, makes the throw. And indeed, the leadoff man is retired.
4 outs recorded by Ramiro Mendoza out of the bullpen, all 4 on ground ball outs. That sinker ball is working.
That will keep him in the game. Jeff Nelson, Mike Stanton. Stanton, the left-hander. One down. David Justice. Justice drew a bases loaded walk, got an RBI in the 5th inning when Cleveland scored their 5 runs. His bases loaded walk and the grand slam home run by Jim Thome have accounted for the Cleveland runs. One ball, 1 strike count. They're talking about the law there.
Yeah, well, don't we all?
That one left center field, not deep. Leday in. 2 down in the 7th inning. Major League Baseball returns to the land of the rising sun next month. Slamming Sammy Sosa, strikeout king Curt Schilling, Red Sox phenom Nomar Garciaparra. They'll be leading the Major League Baseball All-Stars against their Japanese counterparts. It's the 1998 Japan Tour, played in Tokyo, Osaka, and Fukuoka. November 6th through the 15th, the dates. Check your local broadcaster for the time and date in your area.
I hope the major leaguers have as much fun as I had on that tour way back in 1979. We sent a Major League All-Star team over there, and it's not only the games that you play, it's a chance to see a country and all the culture of Japan. We got to visit a Shogun house. I mean that was amazing. You know, everybody saw the featured film here, Shogun, and read the book. Thick book. Took me a long time to read it, but
big book.
A lot of history over in Japan to see.
Great people. That one lined by Ramirez for a base hit. Leday, nice play to cut it off. That'll hold him to a single. Fans applaud the play by the left fielder, Ricky Leday.
Well, we told you that Ricky Leday is an outstanding outfielder. And what he does here is hold Manny Ramirez to a single, keep him out of scoring position. First of all, getting there, and then somehow maintaining his feet and turning around and getting the ball back in. So Ricky Leday making a, which looks like a little play, but actually it's a big one because it keeps Manny Ramirez on first and not able to score on a single.
That's why Joe Torre had him starting for defense. Jim Thome, the grand slam, but at the time pulled the Indians to within 1. Got it off David Cone. But the Yankees have had big innings in this game. 2 in the first, 3 unearned in the 3rd inning. Then the big 3-run 6th inning. Total of 5 unearned runs in this game for New York. Thome arguing with it.
This is a grand slam in the 5th inning. A slider that hung right in the middle of the plate, and Thome touched it off. My goodness, halfway up in the upper deck in right field.
2-strike count.
Gary, you mentioned the 5 unearned runs by the Indians tonight. The teams that make the playoffs are usually teams that are very reliable defensively. They make the plays. This is not the night for the Indians defense to go south, and it did.
A lot of unearned runs in any game. Jim Thome's tied the record now for the most postseason home runs in 1 year. He's hit 6. The grand slam that he picked up. Bernie Williams, one of those tied with him. Ken Griffey Jr., Lenny Dykstra, and Bob Patterson of the Pirates. Bob Robertson, rather, of the Pirates. 3-ball, 2-strike count. So Thome, a big home run push here in the postseason, coming off the DL, getting back late in the year. Thome up there now with 1 on, 2 down. 3-2 delivery, runner going, and he's gone. Mendoza. No runs, a base hit, 1 left on from Yankee Stadium. 7th inning stretch time in Game 6. Anticipating at Yankee Stadium, a 35th American League pennant for these Yankees, helped by this.
Cleveland Indians not so sharp defensively tonight. The wrong game for them to fall apart with the leather. 1 error in left field, 1 at second base, an unexpected one certainly at shortstop, and then a misplay out in right field. Not credited with an error, but that was a triple on a play that should have been made.
Chili Davis, the designated hitter, was at the plate when Bernie Williams was thrown out to end the last inning, so he will resume. Here's that bat, started over again, actually. and a 1-strike count. Paul Shuey out of the bullpen gave up the single to Williams. Only batter he faced in that last inning. 9-5 Yankee lead. Strike on the outside corner. David Cone, the pitcher of record for the Yankees, who gave up the 5 runs and 7 hits over 5. Nagy lasted only 3 innings for Cleveland. Gave up 6 runs, 3 earned on 8 hits. Cleveland has never led nor been able to tie this game up. Up high, 1 ball, 2-strike count. Yankees jumping out again in the first inning with 2 runs, 1 in the second and 3 in the third, before Cleveland got on the board with their 5 runs in the 5th inning.
Notice how all the hitters sit together on the bench, all the pitchers sit together. While they might be all on the same team, there's a different union. Hitters like to talk hitting, pitchers like to talk pitching. See, it's 4 hitters in a row on the bench, at least 4.
And they're talking hitting.
No, talking hitting, yeah. But finally you get to a pitcher who's picking on a hitter. See, Curtis is in the wrong place there. He's in between 2 pitchers.
It's his lifestyle. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Shuey misses down low with it. So a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I wouldn't be surprised if Chili Davis gets on here that you'll see Homer Bush come on out and run. Joe Torre trying to build an extra run with a leadoff man getting on.
Shuey with a 3-2 delivery, fouled off. Yankees trying to do to Cleveland what Cleveland did to them last year, knock them out of the postseason.
That's Homer getting loose down there. He knows his time might be coming, stretching those hamstrings, tying those shoelaces tight.
Shuey again, 3-2. Left field. Homer can sit down.
Got a scare.
So can Chili. 1 away here in the 7th inning. This copyrighted telecast the property of the Office of the Commissioner of Major League Baseball, intended for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited.
And right out of the Office of the Commissioner, Paul Beeston, who years ago used to run the Toronto Blue Jays.
He's the CEO of Major League Baseball, in charge of the day-to-day operations under Bud Selig, the new commissioner. 1-strike count on Martinez. 1 down, nobody on, 7th inning. Tino Martinez a 1 for 3, 2 for 19 in this series. No play on that one. Strike 2.
Yeah, when you hitters are in a long slump like Tino Martinez is here in the postseason, one thing that you can look for when they start to come out of slumps, they make hard outs. They start to hit the ball a little bit better. But that has not been the case for Tino. He's gotten 1 hit tonight, but he has also struck out twice. So that kind of tells you that he's not out of it, even though he's 1 for 3 tonight. He'll tell you that I'm not seeing the ball well. You know, wherever I look for it, they throw it somewhere else.
He has struck out 10 times now in the postseason.
Yeah, that's not like Tino Martinez when he's going well. I mean, for a guy who hits a lot of home runs, does not strike out all that much.
Shuey down low with that one. 1 ball, 2-strike count. Yankees trying to move on to the World Series.
2 more hitters sitting together. Three.
Fouled off, stays at 1 and 2.
I mean, that's any bench in Major League Baseball. You see the same thing. They're talking shop.
And they don't want the pitchers to hear it because they might have to face them next year when they're on different teams. Pitchers feel the same way. 1-2 breaking ball up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See, there's David Wells and El Duque. Now, I don't know how much they're talking, but, you know, they can gestures.
Fouled off. Getting out of the way, Derek Jeter.
Yeah, they know that the Indians are down to their last 6 outs and they're 4 runs behind.
2-ball, 2-strike pitch, and that's down low. So the count taken full on Tino Martinez, 3-2.
And if anybody knows it, Joe Torre does. He's thinking ahead, though. Those other guys might be kidding around. He's not smiling. He won't be until the Yankees win, or if they win.
Mike Hargrove pacing. Inside, he lost it. So the walk given up by Shuey. A 1-out walk to Tino Martinez here in the 7th inning. They'll give Ricky Leday a chance with a runner on. Hargrove and David Justice and Mark Wiley, the pitching coach, moving in there a minute.
I think he just motioned for Wiley to get on the phone, and maybe some stirring will be done down in the Cleveland bullpen. They're talking hitting too. Hargrove was a pretty good hitter in his day. Yeah, Louis Isaac is going for the baseball, and somebody's getting up.
Only one away. Leday up. 0-1 count. Leday in the ball game is 0 for 3, looking for his first postseason hit with the 0 for 5. And the 0-1 swung on and missed.
Good split finger fastball from Paul Shuey. Pitch is designed to look like a fastball. You throw it towards the middle of the plate, so it looks really good to the hitter. And then when he goes to swing, boom, it just disappears.
0-2 pitch, little chopper. Going to be cut off by Fryman. Gets it over there in time to get the out. He had no play at second base, so Tino Martinez will move down to second with 2 away. Scott Brosius gets the hand. He's had a lot to do with the Yankee lead in this game.
The Yankees have a decision after this season is over with Scott Brosius. He can become a free agent. The Yankees are going to have to decide whether they want to keep him. They have a prospect down at AAA named Mike Lowell, who had a pretty good year.
He had a career year.
Yes, he did.
And he's delivered in this game a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning, and then reached on an error and scored in the 6th.
The Yankees got Scott Brosius from the Oakland A's for Kenny Rogers, the left-hander, who had a pretty good year in Oakland.
Yeah.
And they wanted to get rid of Kenny Rogers so badly that the Yankees played most of his salary this year while he was playing for the Oakland A's.
And they do it again based on the production of Scott Brosius. Brosius with the 98 RBIs this year all came at the bottom of the order, hitting either 7th, 8th, or 9th. Those 98 RBIs out of those positions in the batting order, the most in the majors this year. You get that kind of production at the bottom of the order, you are in great shape.
Yeah, early this year when Derek Jeter went on the disabled list with a pulled muscle in his side, Joe Torre moved Scott Brosius up to the 2nd spot in the order. After about 2 or 3 games, Brosius wasn't doing anything. And Joe Torre put him back down in the 7th, 8th, and 9th spot. He started to hit right away.
That's going to be an intentional walk. Yankee fans talking about the Indians to that side. Mike Hargrove, 3rd longest tenure of major league managers in a job you usually don't get to stay in very long. Kelly at Minnesota, number 1. Bobby Cox, Atlanta, number 2. Hargrove 3rd. Torres piling up some time now with the Yankees. These winning years. Breaking ball and the strike call to Joe Girardi.
Under Joe Torre, the Yankees, in the 3 seasons that Torre's been the manager, won over 300 games in the regular season.
0-1 delivery. Grounded. Shuey, I don't think got that. played by Enrique Wilson over, and that'll get the out. So Girardi retired. No runs, no hits. 2 base runners are left on. We've completed 7. The Yankees, making a drive to go to the World Series, have the 9-5 lead. In order for there to be a game 7, the Cleveland Indians are going to have to come from behind in this game. The National League Championship Series will be continuing. Their game 6 tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 Greenwich Mean Time. However, if the Yankees win this game tonight, that game will change to 8 o'clock Eastern, midnight Greenwich Mean Time. So the Yankees win. That becomes a later game. The Braves and Padres moving back to Atlanta. Travis Fryman will lead it off as the Indians are running out of outs in their 1998 season. They've got only 6 outs to work with as we go to the 8th inning. Trailing 9-5. Having pulled to within 1. At 6-5, the Yankees blasted away for 3 more in the 6th inning.
6 outs away from being dethroned as the American League champions.
And a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Anticipation here at Yankee Stadium.
Fryman 0 for 3 in the game. Inside outs that one down the right field line. 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, this has been a series that's been dominated by pitching and defense. And tonight, the Indians did not defend very well.
Just missed. Big breaking ball by Mendoza. Mendoza's come on to give up just 1 hit in the 2 innings that he's worked. Towards the middle. Jeter. Tough throw. Great pick. Major league play all around.
Well, first of all, Jeter was playing Fryman to pull the ball. Didn't expect this one to head towards the middle, but watch how quickly he gets rid of it. Squares up, gets it accurately to Tino Martinez, who has to dig it out. When you move it like this, it's tough to make an accurate throw. Accurate enough that Tino Martinez can pull it out of the dirt for the out. But Derek Jeter, well, his range goes from Queens to the Bronx.
Down the left field line, foul by Brian Giles. The Yankees finished 3rd among the 14 American League teams in fielding percentage. The Indians were tied for 6th.
But Derek Jeter, a couple of years ago, Joe Torre took a chance. Used a rookie shortstop. They won the world title with Jeter playing shortstop as a rookie. Was the rookie of the year in the American League. I wouldn't call him exactly a seasoned veteran, but he plays like it.
Breaking ball is outside. 2-ball, 1-strike count on Giles. Brian Giles with a 1 for 3 in this game. 1 down, nobody on. Pops that one up. Third base, foul territory. Brocious. 2 down. Two away. Great job by Mendoza coming out of the bullpen for David Cone.
He's been doing it all season long. Mendoza, as a starter and a reliever, been very, very effective.
As Kenny said, the bullpen's ready if needed. Stanton's the left-hander. We'll get a pinch hitter, Sandy Alomar, coming out of the game, and Jeff Branson will be the pinch hitter. So Alomar, obviously his problems continue. Get the left-hander up here, but a much less experienced hitter. Center field, Bernie Williams. And a 1-2-3 inning. Cone could be the winner. Mendoza's retired 9 of the 10 batters he's faced in relief. Yankees lead at 9-5. Anticipation building at Yankee Stadium. The 9-5 lead. Yankees trying to wrap up another American League pennant. Enar Diaz will do the catching with Alomar out of the game. Paul Shuey remains on the mound. Chuck Knobloch, the leadoff batter, 1 for 4 in the ball game. And you can see, as Kenny noted earlier, David Cone there with Wells. Cone on the left could be the winning pitcher. They're that close. And a strike taken by Knobloch.
Yeah, one thing we looked up in between innings, though, David Cone has never won a game this year going as few as 5 innings.
It'll be his second shortest outing of the year. This outing of just 5 innings. Breaking ball misses by Shuey, 1-1.
He'll take it, though.
Cone trying to go 2 wins, 1 loss, and 2 no decisions in the 5 clinching games that he has pitched in his career. 5-3 overall in the postseason. And Knobloch's got a base hit. Leadoff single in the bottom of the 8th. Eleven hits in the game for the Yankees.
Yankees would like to get that at least one more run here. That would give them a 5-run lead. And we already saw a grand slam tonight from Jim Thome. That's as many runs you can get with one swing of a bat. 4. So they can get that 5th run, that 5-run lead. Breathe just a little bit easier.
Derek Jeter, huge triple in the 6th inning. 8 triples during the regular season. First Yankee triple in this postseason. 2 RBIs, first 2 he's had in this series. Fouls that one off for a strike. He is 2 for 4 in the game. 5 for 24 in the series. One delivery to him. Breaking ball fooled him. He fouled it off. Strike 2.
El Brujo been working the magic tonight with Miro Mendoza. The lad just 1 hit since coming on out of the bullpen for David Cone. We talk about teammates picking each other up offensively. How about on the mound? Scott Brocious with a big night.
2 strike count. Lob toss over to Thome at first base. Get Knobloch back. These 2 teams had been headed for the lowest batting average in an American League Championship Series. 221 is that number, combined number set by Cleveland and Seattle in 1995. They may get over that tonight with the 19 hits we've had put up combined.
I think from Joe Torre's standpoint, first time he's seen his team hit the ball well in this series. And maybe the Yankees, who led the league in runs scoring, if they can win, hold on, get into the World Series, of course you're facing a whole new set of pitchers you haven't seen much of.
Swung on, foul tipped, and not held on to.
Well, it's the Atlanta Braves. Well, they saw them a couple of years ago, but the San Diego Padres they haven't seen much of.
Braves trying to do what no other team has done. Let's go down 3-0 in a series, 7-game series, and come back and win it.
And with interleague play, the Yankees did play the Braves this year 4 times.
0-2 delivery that missed inside. 1 ball, 2 strike count. David Wells, a huge postseason. He'll be in consideration. If the Yankees win this, there'll be an MVP announced for the League Championship Series. Bernie Williams certainly will be considered for that. 3 for 3 in this game. That one is fouled off. Williams won that MVP back in '96 for the Yankees. And has certainly contributed hugely in this game and in the series. He's had a couple of RBIs here tonight.
Bartolo Colon charting what a pitcher does. He charts the previous game before he pitches.
Preparing for the next one, of which there may not be one. Foul back again by Derek Jeter, holding it at a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Every pitch that's thrown by a pitcher on his team, he marks down what pitch, what location, and what the hitter did. Pitching coaches and the pitchers will go over those charts, and they'll look at them all winter long. The pitching coach will take them home, go over them all winter long, and go over every other hitter in the league and try and figure out a formula for how to pitch him the next year.
1-2 delivery. Jeter, a good at bat, but the battle is won by Shuey. That is the first strikeout Paul Shuey has had in the game. One away. Knobloch still on at first base. And Paul O'Neill will be coming up, and Mike Hargrove is on his way out. So the left-handed hitter due up. Paul Assenmacher, the left-hander, is warmed up in the bullpen. He'll take the ball from Shuey and bring the left-hander on in relief. And he knows, even though he's pitched well here in the postseason, may not be enough. Carry him on. Yankees trying to wrap it up in 6 games. Have this 9-5 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, you mentioned wrapping it up in 6 games. Postseason history for the Yankees when leading 3-2 with Game 6 at Yankee Stadium. World Series of 1926. They lost Game 6 and 7. I'll get back to that in a minute. 1947, they lost Game 6, won Game 7. In 51, they won Game 6. 1953, 51 was against the New York Giants. 53, they won Game 6. 77, they won Game 6. And in 96, they beat the Braves and won Game 6. In 1926, when they lost Game 6 and 7, in the 7th game of that World Series, they were playing the St. Louis Cardinals. The Yankees lost. The World Series ended when Babe Ruth tried to steal third base and was thrown out.
Even the great Babe made one of baseball's inexcusable mistakes.
Yeah,
right?
but I bet you they did yell at him.
Pretty good chance. Paul Assenmacher, the left-hander, comes on for the Cleveland Indians. Yankee fans still waiting to celebrate, hoping to go to the World Series that will begin on Saturday. Game 1. First 2 games will be played in the American League ballpark. The Yankees win right back here for game Saturday, Sunday at 7:30 Eastern time. Then the middle 3 games will be played in the National League ballpark, either Atlanta or San Diego. And if games 6 and 7 are necessary, it would be back at the American League ballpark on October 24 and 25. All of those times Eastern Daylight Time for the 1998 World Series. We'll have all those games for you. Major League Baseball International's coverage will be continuing throughout the World Series. And many of you will be seeing the game tomorrow between the San Diego Padres and the Atlanta Braves. If the Yankees win this game, it'll be an 8 o'clock Eastern start. If this series should go 7, then it would be a 4 o'clock Eastern start tomorrow.
Over in the National League, looked like it's certainly like the World Series is going to be in San Diego, but the Braves have rallied to win 2 games and get the series back to Atlanta.
Well, if any team's going to pull the impossible, coming back from 3-0 and the best of 7 that nobody's done, it would be the Atlanta Braves with that great starting pitching staff they have. But they haven't done it yet. Assenmacher's ready. Paul O'Neill coming up. O'Neill in the ball game, single and scored in the first, 1 for 4. Runner on at first base, Knobloch with 1 down. The bullseye for O'Neill if he can pull one in the right field porch.
But he's had all kinds of troubles against Assenmacher in his career. That's why Assenmacher's in the game. Mike Hargrove didn't hesitate. Bring this lefty in. O'Neill says, I can't pick up his breaking ball.
No play on that one. Foul back, strike 1.
And as far as O'Neill is concerned, that first breaking ball is probably the one you want to hit. He hit the first pitch in Cleveland and flied out to right field on Assenmacher, because that first breaking ball is the one he wants to get over the plate for a strike. The successive ones are going to be a little nastier than the previous ones because he's ahead on the count 0-1.
One down. 0-1 the count on O'Neill. Not a big lead at first by Knobloch. That's the pitch that Assenmacher gets O'Neill out on.
You see, the first one's a strike, and he has to swing at it, but then he goes away a little further. After he's run the count 0-1, he can, tease him a little bit more, get it a little further away, and O'Neill actually helps him out by swinging at this one. That was a ball. So the count goes 0-2. This next one might be even a little further away. See if O'Neill will swing at it. Whoa!
He came in with high heat. So a .290 career postseason hitter, Paul O'Neill, just doesn't want to see any more of this man. Assenmacher, 2 down.
And if you ask Paul O'Neill 50 years from now, who was the guy you didn't want to face? Paul Assenmacher. Without hesitating, he'll tell you that's the guy. He's about 3 for 27 lifetime. 3 for 25 with 11 strikeouts. Oh.
2 down. Bernie Williams, switch hitter, will bat right now with Knobloch still on. Bernie Williams, 337 right-handed, 339 left during the regular season. Can't be much more consistent. Down the line and right, long run. Ramirez over in fair territory, makes the catch. No runs, a base hit, 1 left on. We've completed 8. The New York Yankees are 3 outs away from wrapping up their 35th American League pennant. Major League Baseball International's presentation of the 1998 American League Championship Series is being brought to you by MasterCard. Gary Thorne, Ken Singleton, and our crew here in New York. 3 outs away from being World Series bound for the 35th time.
Flashback. 1996, October 13th, Cecil Fielder with a home run at Camden Yards against the Baltimore Orioles. Then the final out with John Wetland on the mound. The ground ball to the shortstop. Jeter dug out by Tino Martinez, and the Yankees were on their way to the World Series and a World Series title.
96 against Atlanta. Could be a rematch this year. The man who's almost unhittable. Rivera on in relief. 3 outs, all he needs. The Indians down by 4. Enrique Wilson, the rookie, has gone 1 for 3. Lofton and Vizquel will be due up. And a strike taken.
Wilson was the batter in Game 5. That Rivera struck out to end the game.
Down to third. Great stop. Brocious, can he get it there? Yes!
Well, I've counted at least 3 excellent plays by the Yankees defensively tonight. 2 of them by Scott Brocious. And you can't get much better than this. Remember, Wilson runs very well, and he gets it by a good full step. There's the dive, recovers, unleashes the throw, and gets him. What a play. Once again, another look at it. That's a fair ball headed down the line. And look at the reaction on the bench.
David Cone would be the winner in this game. Kenny Lofton leading it off. Brocious, a huge game. Rivera working in a hurry. Rivera has worked in 7 postseason games now. 8 1/3 innings. He has given up 1 hit. 1 hit. Look at the career numbers. 2 down.
That's called slamming the door.
There have been no base runners in this series against Mariano Rivera. None. Omar Vizquel. One more out, and the Yankees are the American League pennant winners.
Cut fastball, strike one.
In 29 innings that Rivera's worked in the postseason in his career, the batting average against him is 158. He's got unbelievable numbers in tough situations. They are rocking Yankee Stadium. 2 down. Vizquel, the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Go back to spring training. All that work. The Yankees knew they had a good club coming out of spring training. The Indians knew it too. The Indians, the reigning American League champs.
Yankees looking to win their 118th game this year. They've already set the major league record for most wins in a year. 1-1. A chopper. The American League pennant belongs to the Yankees.